Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison, and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. More spins, more wins, more fun. It's NFL Draft Week. The Green Bay Packers without a first-round selection as of now for the first time since the 80s. Set to pick in the second round in Pittsburgh on Friday night. All you need to get you set for the Packers draft all week long here on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, and on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Reactions to Adam Schefter's NFL Draft Intel piece up at ESPN.com this morning and how it affects the Green Bay Packers heading into the 2026 season. Check that out over at ESPN.com and stick around for Wilde and Tausch coming up next here on 100.5 ESPN. Baseball, the Brewers take 2 of 3 in Miami against the Marlins, but had a 4-game winning streak snapped yesterday afternoon in the finale. 5-3 the final score. Brewers off today, traveling to Detroit to begin a 3-game set with the Tigers tomorrow evening here on Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
It is the Monday edition. I'm a little off this morning. One of my favorite TV shows killed off one of my favorite characters, and I'm more bothered by it than I should be. I have to admit. Edition. It is NFL Draft Week, and I cannot wait until the commissioner steps to the podium and says, with the 25th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas, I don't even know what pick they have. I'm not going to lie. 26? 26 maybe? 28? Whatever it is. Packers don't have a first-round pick edition, but that won't stop us from getting ready for the draft edition of Wilde and Tausch. A 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the outstanding, magnificent, fantastic, incredible ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find both in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, and so is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
So who get killed off, and what show are you watching?
Will Trent.
What show is it?
It's on ABC, Disney Family. Will Trent, they killed off Amanda Wagner.
Whoa.
Spoiler alert.
Who's Amanda? Like, what's the name of the show?
Will Trent is the name of the show.
The name of the show is Will Trent?
He's a detective.
You've never seen it?
Bore me.
It's near the top of the list
Will
of...
Trent PD? Can we at least get an idea of who the hell Will Trent is?
He's a member of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Indeed, Special Agent Will Trent, yeah.
It's near the top of my list of favorite shows I've never watched but have only experienced through promos during football games.
I've never heard of Will Trent.
And you're intrigued by it, but not enough to watch it, Jesse?
Yeah, it's like, you kind of follow along only on college football Saturdays when they're like, coming up on Will Trent Monday on ABC and Hulu. Wonder what's happening this week for old Will.
I always thought it was great when Pat Summerall would be talking about Angela Lansbury. That was always
Murder,
good.
She Wrote.
A lot of NCIS LAs that's been on for a while. I haven't watched a single second, but man, Nance telling us about it every Sunday afternoon is good.
Why are you so taken aback by this? How long has this show been on? And have you?
They're in season 4.
Okay.
Honestly, I think a smart fella like yourself, I think you would enjoy it. It's kind of a thinking man's program. Not as good as The Blacklist, I'm sure. As Jesse loved that show when it was on.
Does anybody have a good solution? So I started watching Homeland. That's my walk-in show. It's
Homeland.
Homeland. It's awesome.
Wait a minute. Can we back up for a second?
Your what?
Your walking show?
Yeah, I walk. And
on a treadmill?
No, I try to go outside. Get
in
the
neighborhood?
Dude,
it depends
you're going to get hit by a car.
No, my point is, what I was going to ask before you interrupted was, is there a way, like, has somebody come up with a thing where you can have it so it's like out here? So like you're on a treadmill?
Like a selfie stick kind of a thing?
Is there something, or because all I do is put it in my pocket and I listen, and then if I hear something, because then I get to picture, like it's almost like I'm listening to the radio.
Are you Little Orphan Annie?
Maybe. So I don't watch, but then if there's something like that I think is big, I'll pull it out and I'll watch it for like 10 seconds to get a real picture of what's going on, and then I move it along. But has anybody come up with a solution to that? Because
you're listening to the show?
Yes, that's my walk-in show.
I have
started. I tried a sauna a couple days a week, so I have a sauna show. I have my airplane travel show. I'll have if I'm riding in a car show. Like you guys know, I compartmentalize my streamers. That's where I'm at.
I have my show that I don't actually watch show.
Yeah, so I'm 8 or 9
what are you
episodes into
doing,
Homeland.
man?
What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm distracted.
What is this, 1936?
Maybe.
I've told the story of my old college roommate who once drove up from Tennessee, and he listened to a comedian on a Netflix special on his phone during the drive, and I thought that was kind of bizarre, but the more I thought of it, well, it's just like listening. A comedy show podcast isn't that much different than a comedy show on like a TV show. To just say you're watching an entire season of a show.
I haven't come up with a good solution to being able to actually watch it because, you're outside.
You got to be careful out there.
There were podcasts I would listen to, and it hasn't stuck. This is really kind of, because now it's like reading a book. You're like, I can't wait to kind of get back to it. And as you're trying to get healthier and you're walking and you're doing stuff, it's like this is a good thing to, I get to go listen to Homeland again for an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and that's been. But I do think I've probably missed a couple things.
You do.
No.
But I'll say this. I know what's going on. I understand it. I'm picturing it. Old girl is getting after old boy, and occasionally you'll look, okay, so you kind of get an idea. And then I don't know what her name is in the show, Homeland.
Johnny Dix.
No.
So you're whipping the phone out of your pocket to take a look when
there's a
getting
bombing.
after
There's
it?
a bombing scene. You're like, I got to see exactly what happens.
Just
so I
to
can
be
at least
clear,
picture it.
This is a video. This is not a podcast, like a dramatic.
This is on
podcast.
Netflix.
It's
no,
a
this
TV
is Netflix.
show.
There is
a TV show.
Filming.
Yes.
I think it was a USA Network show, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know all of
in the day.
that. I don't. When something gets super trendy and hip, I'll wait to watch it. I don't get caught up in anything new now. Like there's nothing.
This show is like 10 years old, I think.
No, it's got 9. So it's got 9 seasons. I'm only in the first season. I'm fired up. Like it's awesome because now you got something that you can build off of, and it's going to keep you going for a while. But I'm only watching the clips. I'm seeing kind of like, there's you hear this big bombing thing, and okay, and then I want to look. And then the terrorist gets out, and you're chasing him. Okay, I want to get an idea so I could give a picture, but I don't want to sit there and hold the phone out like this while I'm walking, so then I just put it back in my pocket, and I'm back to it.
And I'm the complicated fellow.
Homeland debuted
You're listening
in
to a TV show.
2011.
It's old. Yeah, it's been around.
Claire Danes.
Mandy
is the,
Patinkin.
Yeah.
She's the actress, and then I'm only in season 1, so my hunch tells me that the dude from Axelrod, he gets ousted. I'm guessing pretty soon, but he's still living, still kicking it.
My name is
the
Inigo
guy
Montoya.
from Band of Brothers is in it apparently.
That's
Damian Lewis.
I mean, it's a super intriguing show.
Why don't you? If it's so good,
it.
imagine how much better it is if you actually watch it.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm not going to change, so that's what I do.
Okay.
Well,
I'm certainly glad I brought this up because this led to a revelation I would have never had on my
This is
bingo
actually
card.
the first you're telling us that you do this. This seems like something
I've
relatively
told
Have
you
you
from
done
the
this
jump
with other
that
shows?
I've told you from the jump that this is the first TV show that I've watched as I've walked. I've told you that with Landman, it's flights only.
But
so
on a
I'm
plane,
stuck
We
at,
know
like,
you compartmentalize.
not-
We are aware of that. We did not. No one ever told us that you were listening to a TV show.
You're
That
not
is what
putting
I'm doing.
Landman in your pocket while you're on the plane, just listening
No,
to it
Landman
like
is-
a radio show.
Trust me, Landman, there's stuff you want to watch. Like, there's stuff out there that's,
What do you mean?
you know exactly what I mean.
I don't know. I've never watched Landman.
Well, you should.
Maybe I should just listen to it. Wow, this is amazing. So, how many episodes have you listened to?
I'm
you feel
nine
like
episodes. I'm 9 episodes into the first season.
Okay.
It's about where I'm at with Landman. I think Landman, I finally got. I'm into like the middle of, but I got a trip coming up, leaving actually on Friday, so I'll hopefully be able to catch up a little bit then.
All right. Well, there you have it. Episode 9 is called Crossfire. It aired originally on November 27th, 2011.
Crossfires?
That's what the episode's called. Episode 9.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot
After
of crossfire.
attempting to sever ties
I had
with
to pull the
Abu
old phone
Nazir.
out of the pocket a couple times.
couple
to
weeks
see that.
before the Packers lost to the Chiefs to ruin their perfect season.
Is that how long ago it's been?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
It is. That's amazing.
I actually think this is a better way to watch TV because one of the things is you get brain rot if you just sit there and you get zombied out. This way, you see and you know who the characters are, and then you can envision what's actually going on as you get in the dialogue.
But you don't see.
But
you're
you
listening.
envision. You envision, and it makes
use your
your mind kind
imagination.
of. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, why is old boy getting after? Oh, they plotted. Oh, okay. Oh, well, what about this? Oh, yeah, okay.
Christian in Waukesha. Tausch! I drive for a living and I'm with you. Just watch the first episode of a season, learn the main characters, and then listen to the rest of the series. You can get to tons of great shows.
That's crazy.
I'll say this. I jumped right into this, and I did watch the first episode, and then after that I thought, boy, I want to know what's going on, but I don't want to just be sitting there. So I did almost exactly what our friend just mentioned there.
Complicated fella indeed. All right, well,
I'm not crying
NFL...
over some murdered actress.
I'm not
getting
crying.
all rattled.
I'm not crying.
Well, you're rattled.
Just got done with my workout, watched the episode from last Tuesday, and I'm just caught up now. 3 members of the Homeland cast end up on the blacklist.
Yeah, I think Blacklist.
You can listen to that
is gonna
next.
be Blacklist will be my next watch. That sounds
watch
good.
Watch the first episode because it's one of the great first episodes in TV history. If you
I
ask
got
me.
turned off. I was going to do this with Lost, but then people on the talk and text line
Yeah,
were
they
just
said
saying
don't
it
do
sucks.
Lost,
And so I have not done that yet.
All right, I'm thrown by this. The actress who plays Amanda Wagner is Sonia Sohn, who, if you watch The Wire, she's a main character in that show as well. But what I was interested by was the fact that she didn't ask to leave the show. They just wrote her character out. And she's been a main character for the better part of these 4 seasons. So
AI,
I'm glad I brought it up
I
because
think AI probably got her.
That could mean there's a chance she's not dead if there hasn't been.
No, she's dead. Now, I'm not going to
So
get
was
further.
Pamela Ewing back in the old days.
There's
She
a lot
came back.
of
not
shows
a
where
dream.
characters are
It's
dead
not
and
a
then they're
dream,
not
JR.
dead.
We don't know if it's not a dream. Inception.
The president, James Marsden, in Paradise, is dead before technically.
Whoa! No!
It's the first.
I'm watching Paradise is also on my list, and I'm a couple
watching that when I ride my bike.
It's
that one I've watched.
The opening scene of the show is the president is dead. It's not a secret. It's in the trailer.
You don't give that away.
It's not giving anything away.
I don't like it.
What I'm saying is he's in episodes in season 1 and in season 2, and he's dead before the show starts.
But they're flashbacks.
Right, so there's no saying that if her contract's not over, she could be in a lot of episodes before the show's
I read the story in Variety.
I read the story in Variety?
Right, I was curious if she had asked to quit the show.
You really
or if
were
they'd written her out
about this.
I was just intrigued on how it works. By the way, my line about you watching that show while riding your bike deserved better than that. I got to be honest. I felt pretty good about that.
We were talking. You completely talked over us. I can't talk and listen.
No, you cannot. That is your NFL draft preview. You are all ready for Thursday night when the Packers do not have a first-round pick.
I got a good tease coming up here, too.
Please do.
All right. Well, if you've been putting off replacing your windows and doors, now is the time, because Pella of Wisconsin is offering 0% interest financing all the way until 2030. That's right, 0% interest until 2030. And in Wisconsin, your home, it takes a beating year-round. The right windows and doors can improve comfort, boost energy efficiency, and it can upgrade your home's look. Pella's experts will help you find the perfect fit for your home and within your budget. And with 0% interest until 2030, you can upgrade now and pay over time without paying a dime in interest. Don't wait. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. I'm at Mass yesterday, minding my business, getting my spirituality on.
Listening to the homily, but not actually looking.
No, I was watching and listening. I did not have a phone. I was present. And who do you think is mentioned? One of our favorite fans who lives in Green Bay was mentioned by his pseudo name in the sermon to start. I will tell you who, I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you when, and I'll tell you whatever else next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. Well, we're about to find out which new young players will be drafted in Green Bay to join the squad and help lead it into the future. Add in the hot start to the baseball season in Milwaukee, and it makes for a pretty exciting month in Wisconsin sports. And with all this excitement, maybe it's also time for you to start thinking about getting an exciting new vehicle. If that's the case, start your search with Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Stop by the dealership on Main Street in Sun Prairie to check out their full inventory of new and used vehicles, or make it even easier by starting your search online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. And if you're not in the market for a new vehicle but want to make sure yours feels as new as the day you drove it off the lot, get a tune-up with Zimbrick Chevy's amazing service team. Stop in to Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie and discover this great automotive team that I've been telling you about for years. Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
Every round,
Here comes Roger Goodell with Green Bay's pick.
every pick,
The Green Bay Packers select.
every second of the NFL Draft, right here on ESPN Madison.
You look at where we are right now at corner. There's only 2 lock first-round corners.
Tune into ESPN Wisconsin's draft coverage all weekend.
It's time, baby!
ESPN Wisconsin Draft Night begins with Round 1, Thursday, April 23rd, right here on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease into spring. It keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Now get 0% interest until 2030. That's years of no interest, so you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free in-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. But order by April 30th. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
Game day in my house is everything. I get out of class, I grab my gear, and get to the game because I can't wait. And my dad, he does the same thing. He's an official here in Wisconsin. He makes the tough calls, stays cool under pressure, and knows ball like nobody else. I want to be just like him. You can too. Sign up at highschoolofficials.com.
My husband had purchased something at another store. He was very unhappy with the quality of it. We went into Chalmers and just started looking around and kind of got inspired to do something together that was unique for us.
It really isn't any more expensive to do a one-of-a-kind custom piece.
I love it. It's beautiful. I get a lot of compliments on it.
Turned out how I hoped it would.
It really makes me feel good to wear.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 27 locations in this great state. Headquartered in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paints you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Well, I can't wait to hear all the other stuff, the rest of this story, so expertly teased from Mass yesterday. So I turn the show back over to Mark Tauscher.
Yeah, so try to get to, Sundays. Sometimes you have to go Saturday night, scheduling and stuff gets in the way, et cetera, et cetera. But yesterday was a new one for me. There's a lot of times you'll see people coming into church in their jerseys, especially if it's during the fall. Sports, and especially the Green Bay Packers, is a big part of our culture, especially, obviously here. So never overly surprised. It does get brought up into different sermons occasionally. But yesterday...
Is your priest a sports fan?
Yeah, I told you. He listens to the show. So I don't know if he's listening today. We have 2 or 3 different ones with some of the consolidation that is occurred within our parish and diocese. And I'm not going to get into all that, but This was the intriguing part. One of our friends who we lean on and think I appreciate him, and I potentially am going to be having a stein or 2 of beers with him in Germany when and if the Packers get this game.
Kyle Cousineau?
The beginning of the sermon yesterday was there were these fans in the UK, and his point was you want to show it, you want people to experience, because there's more people coming, especially young people coming into the different religions, especially in the Catholic Church world. The numbers are growing, and I think what he was trying to say is embrace it, let people in, let them experience it. So he starts the sermon off by saying there were 2 fans in the UK that are Packer fans. And then he said, and I was kind of, I was listening. Didn't have my AirPods in. He says, the unofficial mayor of Green Bay invited them, and they came, and he showed them, got them all the merch at the pro shop, and took them to a game, and did all this great thing about showing. And he basically put the Cougs as an ambassador. I mean, he is an ambassador for the city of Green, but he used the term unofficial mayor of Green Bay. He never said Coos, but he said Coos without saying Coos. And half of the sermon is about Coos and how Coos showed these Packer fans the way, the pilgrimage, the whole deal. And then he took shots at Bear fans throughout the thing. Like, it was a very lively sermon, but I just was amazed that the Coos made it in our sermon, and the focal point of discussing religion and the spirituality came from this UK Packer fan stop at Lambeau, the pilgrimage, if you will, and showing all of it and being part of it and letting it breathe. And then I think Coos went over there and shared experiences. All of this just blew my mind that this was part of our Sunday. He said unofficial mayor. I'm like, no. He's talking about the
fan of the show. So how does this connect to spreading the word of God?
I think it is,
and our faith in the Lord.
Welcome people into your church. Welcome them into your faith.
Even if they're different.
Yes, and it's
go
kind
and
of
tell kind of thing.
Yes, it's a show and live, and that was more. And again, I'm not. This isn't just like this isn't a political show. This isn't a religional show.
Religional.
This is. I just thought, wow, that's. But then. He also, again, he took some shots at the Bear fans, which I thought, obviously, after Friday's show when we were discussing it, that was...
Well, what did he say about the Bears
basically
fans?
like having a great experience so you don't take them to Chicago. No, he didn't get into that, Jason.
Oh, come on. That was, again, I feel like I've had some good lines today. All right, well, the Coos, I guess my only other question is, he's not a member of your church, right?
He is not, no. Not that I know of. I haven't seen him.
Okay, well... I'm excited that
Is there any jealousy that he didn't use you as the example when you're sitting right there?
Why on earth do you not know me? You really think that I'd want that?
I mean, if you're sitting
you really think I'd want that, though?
No.
Come on.
No,
you got to
don't.
be better than that. Yeah, of course I would.
Okay. Well, I mean...
Well, that doesn't sound very Christian.
I mean, just instead of shouting out...
what do you... Well,
it just feels a little more localized, that instead of shouting out the Coos, who many people may not know, you're right there.
Do you not understand?
There's old T.
Do you not understand the point of the story and how it played out?
I do understand the story,
so then why would you think that I would do that? I didn't have European fans fly in and do it. So it's not always about me.
You go spread the good word about Badger athletics far and wide. Go to
are
Red
these
Rocks
okay,
Florida.
Final question.
Yeah.
Jesse, put down the shovel. Are these because a lot of churches now have really gotten up with the times, kind of like us being on YouTube. Is this sermon available in some sort of can I watch it while I'm going for a walk?
I don't know. I'm sure you probably could.
Okay, I'm gonna off air. I'm gonna need more information because now I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I don't have that info, so you'll have to get it from the parish. I wish I had it, but I don't.
And then we'll upload it to the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Well, Homer could put it on his, my faith.
God Talk with Homer and Coos.
Sounds like the Coos should get an invite.
So kudos to Coos. I did not have that on my bingo card going to church to hear that Kyle Cousineau is going to be a huge part of our sermon. Yes.
Do you think he doesn't know his name, or he just wanted to not mention him individually?
That's a good question.
Say his name.
I think it was more. I think there was more of a friendly. Like if he says Kyle Cousineau, I don't think people are going to. When you say the unofficial mayor of Green Bay, that makes it a little more visual. Would be my guess.
All right. It is NFL Draft Week. I don't know if you've heard. And also, we need to spread the word of the Lord, and Ed Helms sucks. And Amanda Wagner is dead on Will Trent.
There's a lot of people who might watch that next day that...
It was last Tuesday.
Oh, then you're
It's
good.
been a week.
Then you're good. You're good.
We had severe weather up here, and most of the show was preempted, so I had to watch it on demand today. So,
all right, you're good.
Thanks. I'm glad you approve of my spoiler alert. All right,
Tuesday has some steam there. By the way, we got options.
We're gonna
there.
have special services where he just tells his stories of his trip to Europe. All right. we are going to talk about the draft, right? At some point. Do you feel like we've talked about it very much?
Nope,
we haven't. But we will.
There's a couple of angles that I like talking about this, and one of them is, and this was an article, I think the GM or president of the Ravens mentioned it, and I've talked about this in the past about how much more difficult drafting is. I call it the Wanky-inization of the draft. You remember when Chris Wanky was coming out?
He was really old. He was 30 already.
And that's where we're at now. You're seeing more 24, 25, 26-year-olds coming out that got a little scratch in their pocket. And he had money from whatever baseball team drafted him. The Wankyization of the draft has been, I think, an interesting and under-talked-about topic.
Well, we will talk about it, and Chris Winky, who played baseball, after I tell you about Associated Bank and the great benefits you get from their checking account with their favorite baseball team, the Milwaukee Brewers. That's right. Go to AssociatedBank.com/Brewers right now. That's where I am. They got all these nifty little logos. It's fun. 20% off at the Brewers team store if you sign up for Brewers checking. Up to 50% off home game tickets, exclusively for Brewers checking account customers. Tailgate a little longer and skip the line with express entry. All you got to do is show your Brewers card at the Associated Bank entrance of American Family Field. Early pre-sale access to concerts and other non-baseball events at AmFam Field. And savings on the famous 5K and 10K racing sausages run and walk and the Brewers Academy as well. It's all there, plus the best customer service in the industry. They've got the awards to prove it. So go to AssociatedBank.com/Brewers to find out more. We'll find out more about the draft, which kicks off on Thursday night, largely without the Packers. That's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Badgers.
The bottom line on it is you're going into a monster season.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And now there's more change, more things that aren't stable than there ever has been before.
This is 100.5 ESPN.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
It's a great day for Brewers baseball, and with Brewers checking from Associated Bank, you get a powerful lineup of perks all season. Leading off is express entry with incredible speed. Next up, 20% off gear at the Brewers team store. Sporty stuff. And third, up to 50% off home game tickets. But if you can believe it, there's even more you can score. Because with Brewers checking, you get the strongest lineup in baseball. Only from Associated Bank. Join the crew at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious with multiple engine options and impressive towing. While Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability, making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Ben Brust here for the Princeton Club. If you're looking for your better tomorrow, you know where to go. It's the Princeton Club. If you're looking to grow, it's also the Princeton Club, because they will cheer for you in all areas of your life. The best way to do that is to start a foundation of having a healthy body, and your growth will start from there. With the cleanest health clubs in Wisconsin, they provide everything for you to reach your goals. Start your better tomorrow today and grow in all areas of your life at the Princeton Club. Join for a better tomorrow.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Gearing up for tailgating, fireworks, festivals, and updating your home. This is an absolute season for it all. Siding Unlimited can handle the home part. Start the process by visiting Siding Unlimited at 2018 South Stoughton Road and check out our amazing showroom. Ideas will follow, and eventually you'll experience our fantastic carpenters installing new windows, siding, roofing, and doors. We do it all, and it starts by visiting our showroom or going to sidingunlimited.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Upgrade to Iron Jock. Available now at ironjock.com.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. Keep it right here after Wilde and Tausch and join us for the Rich Eisen Show on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Winky is now 53 years old. He was a little bit younger when he entered the NFL. I think he was 30. Who was the other guy? Played at Oklahoma State. Was really old when he entered the league too. Bald guy, quarterback. I'll have to fact check that.
Brandon
Speaking of
Whedon?
fact checking,
Is it Whedon?
yes, Brandon Whedon. Well done, Jesse. No
God,
wonder
you're so proud of yourself in there. Look at you.
It was a guess, got to be honest.
Great job. Browns probably drafted him in the first round.
No wonder the what are you guys, the Golden Seagulls? No wonder you guys fly so high. By the way,
I don't know. He struck out at the Annex Wealth Management trivia.
I heard so did you though.
Didn't have my fellow Goose.
I wasn't
with me.
eligible.
The whole idea was beat
You
Mark
were the-
Tauscher.
what do you mean you were the
one
star
who was
of the
supposed to get
whole
them all
show,
right.
yeah.
I got a couple right, but I didn't take any prizes home. There's prizes all over the place, and you call yourself a world-renowned trivia guy. You don't even sniff one. Yeah.
Speaking of fact-checking, as pointed out by Josh DiMaggio, the Green Bay Packers would have held the 20th selection in the draft. Instead, they do not have a first-round pick, and the Dallas Cowboys, who have that pick, will pick 12th and again at 20th at that Packers selection. So you were were you watching, listening, reading a podcast with Eric DeCosta, the GM of the Baltimore Ravens, in which he said players are older when they're coming into the league because they're staying longer because they're getting paid? Is that...
Well, I saw the clip. It wasn't a podcast or a video, or I'm sure there was both available, but I saw it, and it just got me thinking because I had talked to some folks in the NFL the last couple of years. There's scouts that come floating through game days at Wisconsin, and I always am, intrigued by, sometimes they won't tell you anything because they don't want to give anything, but I'll, just ask, hey, what do you think of Malman, or what do you think of Reiger, just some of these guys, right, that are playing, and just to get an idea, and you can kind of say, well, there's some scouts that are interested, and blah, 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 blah. But I think one of the things that I had heard in discussions, and then when DeCosta said it, it was really like, whew, is the hardest thing that these guys have to evaluate is their love for the game, their handling adversity, and how much of this is about ball and how much of this is about making money. Because for as much as people want to look at NFL players and say they all love playing football, they'd all do it for nothing, the answer is no, they wouldn't, and they shouldn't. How you evaluate when you now don't have that same 5 or 6 years ago where you could go to a strength coach and say, how much did he grow and learn from his freshman year to his junior year? How well does he pick stuff up? How quickly did he adjust when there was a new coach? All of those questions that you can glean information from is now more difficult to get and to analyze. And while you get more film because guys are staying in college longer, you don't really get it's harder to kind of determine whether somebody that every year transfers for a couple extra $100,000, how much of it is about that money and how much of it is about just sheer drive and will. Because almost everybody in this league, unless you're in that top 10% and you're just that much more talented physically, which guys are, how much are they going to fight and compete when they have already got a couple $1 million in their bank accounts? These are questions that guys are having a really hard time figuring out and answering. And I believe it's leading to some of this, this is a poor draft, this is this. There's always going to be good athletes. But it is going to bear out how much, and guys are retiring earlier. The center for the Bears, there's guys, it's a hard, physical, tough game. And if you don't have those characteristics, it makes it really tough to evaluate how a guy's going to play out throughout his career because there's so many variables already. But every scout, every coach will tell you the same thing. How much do they love football? And in this new wankyization of in this era, it is more difficult to find that answer because you don't have the sources and you don't really know because players are going to say all the right things. How are they going to act when the situation comes up? That is where I found that DaCosta and everybody else so interesting because it is that much more difficult.
So I wrote a story last year about this very topic, which apparently I need to say this. I learned this over the weekend. Our Packers coverage at channel3000.com is free. There is no paywall of any kind. Now, you could argue that you get what you pay for, I suppose. But nevertheless, last year...
Yeah, I saw you kind of rant about Elon Musk and Twitter.
I never said anything about your guy.
But you
Not a word.
Did. No, you kind of did by saying it used to be this way, and now it sucks.
It did.
You know what? No. But then you also made the fun joke of posting it right after on that very website, which I found is interesting.
That was good.
I thought it was a pretty good joke.
I thought it was good.
Interesting chart that he shared that showed that if you have a thing behind a paywall and you post the link, almost nobody clicks it.
Nobody wants to pay.
So now I'm here to tell you the coverage is free. And Tausch is taken aback by this Eric DaCosta quote because he must not have seen this one from Goody last year at his pre-draft news conference, which is tomorrow for this year. It was because I had noticed he, after every draft pick, it felt like he said, this guy really loves football. And you kind of think, well, we hold this truth to be self-evident. What the hell are you playing in the NFL for if you don't love football? But to Tausch's point, there's lots of guys in the NFL that don't love football.
And I'm going to tell you this. There's more guys coming in now that have put some scratch away that are going to look at it and say, is it worth it?
Right? 100%. I think the motivation of why guys play is something we spend a lot of time on, trying to figure out their whys. I do think it's important, Gutekunst said. This league is hard. There's a lot of adversity, even for the best players. And to go out there and compete each and every day to get better takes a lot. There's a lot of competition in these rooms, so the motivation for these guys to go out and do that better be strong. And when it gets hard, how do they respond to that? We spent a lot of time throughout this process trying to figure that out. The other thing, as you guys know, is priorities change. Whether that's within the first 3 or 4 years they're in the National Football League or when they're into their second and third contracts. Priorities change, and the will to compete every day and go out there can change on guys, too. It's not only something that we evaluate college players coming into the league on, but we're constantly evaluating our own players and players across the league.
Jason, are you more driven now that your girls are in high school or when they were little toddlers?
I would say there's two sides to that. One is that I am driven to keep my jobs and do well at them because we have to get a car for them at some point and we have to pay for college. So I don't want to screw anything up because the money part of that does matter, although I'm not really motivated by money generally. Secondly, I would say that I am more likely to alter my work schedule based on what they have going on, which if I was a player, I wouldn't be able to do. But for example, I can do the Homer Hour hit while I'm taking pictures at Sydney's soccer game, like I was the other day, and I can write my story later in the evening after all of their activities are over. I gotta be honest, I love what I do. I have always loved what I have done. I have never taken it for granted. I am lucky that I am one of those few people that got to be what he wanted to be when he was a kid and said, I want to be this when I grow up. I get to do that. So I think I'm just as motivated, but I think I have made adjustments to how I do my job because I'm even more motivated by my children, if that makes sense.
I think so. One of the things when we're talking about this new draft and replace rather than draft and develop, I think that's a direct correlation to this.
I agree.
Guys are older, priorities change, money changes people. And even though for Jason that's not the case, and I actually don't disagree with you on that, I think what you just said there, normally I like to push back on you on stuff. I'm not. I think what you're saying is accurate about yourself.
Thanks.
I would think you should be appreciative of because normally I fight you on that. But in the case of playing in the NFL, guys go through different phases, and Goody is keen to that. I think he's aware, he sees it, and if you have to kind of go on the judgment, you're always going to lean, go younger, because for most guys, I think you're going to be driven by family, and that is always going to be first. If you decide you're going to have kids and do all that, that is a piece to this. But for a lot of these guys, where is your motivation going to come from? And when you have money in your pocket, and this was always the case even when I played, they were deathly afraid of giving certain guys second contracts. Mm-hmm. They would fight it, and with good reason for some. There's other guys that are motivated to say, I want to prove you right, and it's not just about the money, because this league and this game is way too hard to just be playing about money. I get that everybody wants to make it, and Lord knows we all do. But there's more to it. It is about your team. And that's why all of this other stuff, while it is always on the back burner, if that fuse isn't lit and that's not part of your equation, it ain't going to happen. It's just not. And figuring that out, sometimes you're fine figuring it out in those first 4 years. It's too punitive now, especially with really good players. You can't afford missing and paying guys big money in second and third contracts. And that's why you rarely see Goody give out a third contract, is because you don't know how that's going to go. With guys, all of a sudden, it's a different world when you got $5 million in your bank account compared to 45. Mm-hmm. And that factors in. You better see, well, how have they handled this? How have they approached it? And is their skill set physically to go through what they're going to do to fight back, to get back out there and play? That all gets part of this wankyization of the NFL. And I think that is a big reason why Green Bay continues to stay younger, because they're deathly afraid of, you have the wrong guys at the wrong contract, it sets you back a big amount, and then you have to scramble and hope you get lucky with draft picks.
I want to explore this further, and my question that I want you to think about over the break is, how the hell do you know? Like, seriously, like, what exactly? Like, you can measure speed.
You kind of see it.
Explosiveness. Well, I want you to think about it. Don't answer now.
Well,
I'm teasing.
I've been thinking about it. That's why I brought it up. But okay, you could tease, and I'll muffle it. How's that? I'll be a muffler.
How about you just tell us about American Family Insurance and then tell us more about how you evaluate this part of the equation later?
Well, I always tell you the Packers are going to insure carefully and they're going to dream fearlessly, and so should you. American Family Insurance, a proud partner of Wilde and Tausch from the jump. And playing in Green Bay for over a decade, I learned pretty quick that when you got the right protection up front, you can play with confidence, and that's what American Family Insurance has been doing for almost 100 years, protecting your home, auto, and dreams that you're building for your family so you can focus on what matters most. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
So how do you figure out if a guy loves football? How do you figure out if they're playing for more than just the paycheck? And what kind of players, what are the characteristics that might tip you off that they are or aren't motivated by that? We'll talk about it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. Now you know I've loved Pizza Hut going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. I loved it then, and I love enjoying Pizza Hut, making new memories with my family now. It's also safe to say things were a lot less expensive when I was a kid, and everything seems to be extra expensive right now, except this. At Pizza Hut, you can get a large 3-topping pizza for just $10. You can try it on Pizza Hut's new hand-tossed crust, crispy and golden outside, soft and fluffy inside, and finished with a garlic parm seasoning. Available for delivery or carryout. Order today at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. A great meal to feed the whole family for just $10. Yep, that still exists. Feed good times with a large 3-topping pizza for just $10 right now at Pizza Hut. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. With this Badger Minute, I'm Jesse Nelson. It's portal season for Wisconsin men's basketball. Head coach Greg Gard and the Badgers have officially announced 3 additions from the NCAA transfer portal for next season. Senior guard Trey Autry from George Washington University, forward Victory Onuetu, the leading rebounder last year for Hofstra, and senior wing Ian Elmer, who helped lead Miami, Ohio to an undefeated regular season. Both Onuetu and Elmer are coming off NCAA tournament appearances with their former teams. Follow along for the latest with the transfer tracker at ESPN.com.
Wisconsin weather is unpredictable. Your windows shouldn't be. Upgrade with Pella and get 0% interest until 2030. Order by April 30th at PellaWI.com.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
My name is Zach Lind. I'm a podiatric surgeon at Stoughton Health. What brought me into podiatry specifically was a lot of injuries growing up. I skateboarded a lot, played hockey, so I was kind of always injured, a lot of heel pain, a lot of ankle sprains, so I had seen a local podiatrist quite frequently. What I focus on mainly in practice is a lot of the elective bunions, hammer toes, flat foot reconstruction, high arch reconstruction. We do a lot of ankle fractures, fifth met fractures, so Jones fractures, Liz Frank injuries, Achilles ruptures.
Learn more at stoughtonhealth.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app.
This loss is as painful to Packer fans as you can ever imagine.
A customizable homepage, easier and quicker live listening. Your shows at the touch of a fingertip. Available in Apple and Android app stores.
I have no evidence behind that whatsoever. It's just a feeling I have, and that might just be because I'm scared of this rivalry in the playoffs.
Your one-stop shop for ESPN Wisconsin. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Download it today.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and lease a 2026 Honda CR-V Hybrid Sport L for as low as $299 per month. Or browse their vehicle selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda.
Mark Tauscher here, and you know I love a smart play from the pocket. That's why I joined UW Credit Union. With their mobile banking app, I can make smart plays from anywhere. And with rewards checking perks like early payday, I score my money sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join.
and make the smart play by becoming a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Brewers baseball is back.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Fastball at 101. It's a Miz show at Fenway tonight. My goodness.
Tune in all season right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers.
We'll get to specifics of the 2026 NFL draft, some of Adam Schefter's intel. Hey, lo and behold, it appears that the New England Patriots plan on acquiring A.J. Brown after June 1.
I heard Rossini reported that a while ago.
Been hearing that. Expected to occur. So, Tausch, did you have, and obviously I would never ask you to say who they are, but I'm going to use one example because we use him all the time about how the league comes at you fast.
Ed Lacy.
Eddie Lacy didn't love football. Like, he enjoyed playing it, but he
told
never,
you he didn't love playing?
He did, yeah. I mean,
was that at the garage sale?
No, we did an event a long time ago, but it was.
And he told you that on the record.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I mean, again, now you got to think about Eddie Lacy and his career arc and life arc, right? I mean, he was living in New Orleans during Katrina. He lost his home. Like, he went through a lot, and for him, football was a means to an end. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if that is a mechanism for you to get out of your current situation, there's lots of people that are motivated by that. But once he got to the league, there were aspects of the job he enjoyed, and there were aspects of the job he certainly didn't.
What percentage of people do jobs just strictly for money? I would think it's pretty high.
Great question. Yeah,
you wouldn't do this job if you didn't get paid. I wouldn't do this job if I didn't get paid, but I love doing this job.
Yeah, I mean, we all do it for money for a certain level, to a certain degree, but only for money. Like,
I actually pay others to be here.
That's true. I've heard that about you.
You certainly pay them to do your work for you. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of jobs that don't seem like they're all that much fun, but you're doing them so you can pay the bills or take care of your kids or whatever else it might be. The NFL, I would argue, the other part of this is obviously the physical toll that it takes on you and the potential long-term issues you might have health-wise. But, like, another player that I think of that was open after he retired about how he didn't really love football, and I think he may have said it when he was still at Wisconsin, was Erasmus James. I mean, incredibly gifted player, right? First-round pick by the Vikings. But I think he admitted at some point he didn't really love football. So my question for you, Tausch, is you were in locker rooms for 11 years. How the hell can you tell if a guy loves football or not?
I think you embrace the grind. And some guys don't. Some guys do. And there's some guys that don't need to. They're just talented enough, and they're going to continue on. But the thing I've noticed, and this isn't just in football, the new generation, they're not as driven by money as our generation. Like, I just think that's pretty factual. People are more interested in work-life balance and understanding that they just want to have enough that they can go do what they want to do. You know, there's this concept that we had when we were growing up and playing 25 years ago was just earn, because there's not going to be another job like this, and there's not.
It's true.
But I do sense more players now, they're earning more in a big way earlier, and they realize that long-term this is not a healthy profession. And it's not. I don't care. You can tell me about player safety, and you can tell me all the stuff that you want. This is not a job that is going to be good long-term for you. It's just not. So I think guys are just getting more educated on it, and how you judge and figure that out, it changes. And that's, I think, Goody realizes that, and he said that in that quote in the free article that you put up. So That's why what you try and do is eliminate that part of it. And there's exceptions, obviously quarterback and some other spots that I think it maybe is a little bit different. But why I don't think Goody is going to change his philosophy anytime soon is because I think he realizes the odds are it's not going to work out well, both from an injury standpoint and from a motivational standpoint. And there's always exceptions to the rules, and I don't want to pigeonhole anybody, but this goes back a long time, even back when I played. Like, you get guys into their early 30s, I mean, it gets to be – guys do look at – and that's why I always tell you when people say that they're thinking about retiring, it's probably already there. Mm-hmm. Because that mindset can't be – you have to be all in to be great at this job because of all of the things that, we just mentioned about what you need and how hard it is and the tax that it takes in you mentally and physically and emotionally. So when you start seeing some slippage, you slide down that hill fast. And that's where I think Goody has said, we're just not going to go down that road on hardly anybody because it ain't going to be worth it, and we're not going to get a return on our investment of what it's going to take to keep you here.
So if you're working overtime to figure out which guys love football and which guys are just like football or like the paycheck or whatever else, and if that's an important indicator, then why do they, like, you would think that if you're finding the majority of the guys you pick are that way, and obviously there's other variables, but if you believe that you're doing well at identifying those players, then why don't they keep more of them?
Because maybe they haven't identified it the right way. And maybe things change. And when you get that contract or you've played 3 or 4 years, maybe you're beat up and maybe you don't want to have to continue to fight and scrap. And if you can get that top dollar, maybe it's going to be somebody else that's going to pay you because you realize you're only going to get 1 or 2 more years out of that player, and that's not going to be worth it. There's 100 reasons for why you don't do that. The biggest one is, A, you better be special. And all Goody has done is, it's not like he's changed all the formulas. He has basically just said, if you're not special, we think we can replace you at a less of a cost. We're going to pay special. We'll pay Tucker Kraft. We're going to pay Micah Parsons. We'll pay Jordan Love. If you're not special, we'll pay you if we have to, Sean Ryan, because we couldn't pay the big boys, the 20, Lindenbaums and those $25 million. We're not going to do that because it's crazy in our budget. So we will pay you, but we'll also be able to get out from under it in 1 or 2 years, and that's why Russ Ball has been so great at his job, is he's figured out that formula.
It would seem to me that the draft and replace is also an acknowledgement that no matter how hard you try to identify this, and that was my point about it's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell if you don't have any experience with the player, right? Like, he's a college player. You haven't had him in your locker room. His coaches, or he can tell you, oh, I love football. But then you get him to your facility, and maybe that's not actually true.
Well, you find out within a year or two on how they approach it, how they handle their off season, and you can get by. A 4-year rookie contract is a nothing burger in this business. So if you get 4 years out of guys as draft picks, why put all that effort in? Because you at least want to get that 4 years. And you want to have that carrot hanging out that, hey, you need to play well for these to get the real payday. Mm-hmm. And that is always going to be – and you then have all of the stuff you don't have in this evaluation process. Guys with 4 or 5 years of experience somewhere, coaches that actually stay and know and understand who – that's why I think Iowa guys have had so much success. Iowa's done it the old school way yet, and I think people look at how that approach has and they say, well, at least we know what we're getting with these, because you're going to have – that's the way you're going to do it there. And if you don't, I don't know how many transfers come in and out of there, but I think a lot of those guys – I know there was an article about their O-line. Most of those guys have been there for a long time. And when you do that, you understand it, you know what they're about. And at least for the 3 or 4 years you're going to be there, you're going to get what you get. And you don't have a bunch of question marks about that.
Yeah, and your point about the offensive line, the other thing I was thinking about is, I always think of Raleigh McKenzie, right, and how he took you under his wing and helped you when you were young. You don't see nearly as many of those old war horses on the offensive line. I know Trent Williams signed a contract to stay with the 49ers today, but those guys are a vanishing breed. Like, to your point about the Bears center, Dahlman, like, what did he play, 7 seasons, if that?
Yep.
I just feel like, those guys were hanging on late in their careers because they wanted one more paycheck. And while there may be some instances still of that, the Bruce Wilkersons, Barry Stokes, right, your old buddy. It just feels like a lot of these guys feel like they've made enough money that they're not going to keep putting, especially at that position where you're taking a pounding every single play, they're just not going to put themselves in that position anymore. Do you agree with that?
I completely agree with that. And it comes down to, hey, I've made all this money. Now I'm going to come back and be a backup and potentially end up playing 15 or 16 games on a veteran minimum. That's just not very enticing to old war horses, as you call them.
All right, we'll get to the actual 2026 NFL Draft coming up in the 10 o'clock hour after I remind you. And I actually got an email from one of our listeners who wanted to know more about Walney Legal Group because they, much like myself, have not done a great job of being prepared with having their affairs in order. It was great. Like, we're making a difference. We're helping people. I need the help. So do you, because... Did you know 16% of people have the appropriate current planning documents in place? 16%, that means 84% of us, myself included, do not. And that's where Walney Legal Group comes in. They specialize in estate planning, wills, trusts, probate, elder care, and special needs planning. They offer customized, personalized experiences, so it's not just a cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all solution. They call this an uncomfortable necessity, and that's exactly what it is. But they make it smooth, easy, and as painless as possible. Their motto is lawyering the way it should be, with clear communication, niche expertise, personal service, and a modern approach. So if you need to get your affairs in order, or maybe you're dealing with a parent or a grandparent, and you need to take care of some of that elder care type planning, they're here for you. Go to WalneyLegal.com. WALNYlegal.com to start a conversation no matter what phase you're in. That's WalneyLegal.com. The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street, and online at goodmansjewelers.com. It's NFL Draft Week. The 2026 NFL Draft kicks off Thursday night in Pittsburgh. The Green Bay Packers, for the first time since the 80s, not slated to have a first-round pick in this year's draft. First projected pick for the Packers in the second round on Friday evening. A lot can happen from now until then, though, including around the league. ESPN's Adam Schefter with his latest draft intel. Check it all out at ESPN.com and stick around. We're going to discuss it coming up next on Wilde and Tausch here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Baseball, the Brewers had a 4-game winning streak snapped on Sunday afternoon. They still took 2 of 3 over the weekend against the Miami Marlins. 5-3 the final on Sunday afternoon. An off day today for the crew as they head from Miami to Detroit. Talk about 2 different spots for a road trip in April. Brewers and Tigers start a 3-game set tomorrow night. 5:40 first pitch here on Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And if you are watching on YouTube, this is how we described today's programming, at least on the ESPN Madison channel. Adam Schefter's draft intel. Jesse, is this as long as a Bill Barnwell piece?
It's very long, but I read all of it. It was very good.
Well, tell us what jumped out at you since you read the whole thing and I only skimmed it.
Can I jump in before you do that, Jesse? Because one of the things, and I listened on Sportsmanlike with our friend Evan Cohen this morning, this whole concept that because you're a bad team, you shouldn't draft good players. It's just so blank.
That's
not
what they were
No, they
saying.
didn't. Can't take Jeremiah Love. He's too good. What do you want him? You stink. Why would you want him?
All right.
Like, what? Oh, no, you don't want Myles Garrett. He's too good. What?
If I may, I'd like to provide some context for those who may not have heard what they were discussing.
I would say that this this sounds like it needs context.
So Jeremiah Love and he's the running back from Notre Dame. He's expected
Jeremiah
to be
Love
as
top 10 pick.
Adam Schefter writes he is
Or
described
Friday,
by many
whatever
as
it
the
is.
most talented athlete in the draft this year, but because he's a running back, there's always questions about where that type of player will be drafted.
By the way, Jen Latta did an unbelievably good piece with him during the football season
With
on
Shefty?
College Game Day. No, with Jeremiah Love.
Oh, okay.
So Jeremiah Love, running back from Notre Dame, the rumor that Adam Schefter shared in his draft intel at ESPN.com this morning is that he could go as high as the 3rd overall pick, which would be the highest drafted running back since Saquon Barkley by the Giants in 2018. The team with the 3rd overall pick as of right now is the Arizona Cardinals. So the discussion on unsportsmanlike, I heard this too on the drive-in this morning, Tausch. Evan and Michelle were talking about if you're the Arizona Cardinals, you don't have a quarterback in place for your long-term future. You don't expect to be very good. They and the Dolphins are projected with the lowest win totals in the league this year. Why take a running back if you have the 3rd overall pick when you have so many holes at so many other spots?
Because at some point you need to start winning, and it can't just be about what's next. Like if you have a good player in front of you, you take him and you build around him. That's why. Like it's so easy to sit here and play fantasy football and to do all this stuff, but the concept of he's too good for us right now. How you get better? The Houston Texans a couple years ago could have said, well, "We're not very good right now. Why would we draft Will Anderson?" Because he becomes a stud and your defense becomes good and you win playoff games. That's why. Why would we draft? Why would you draft Saquon Barkley? I don't know, because he's a really good player, and I think that you ended up going and winning a playoff game. And if you hadn't bungled everything else, maybe the Giants would have been. Maybe. Oh, you shouldn't draft him. He's too good. Good players help you win. And the draft is supposed to help you get good players. So this whole concept of we're just not ready for him. Well, get ready or get out. Like, this shouldn't be that hard of a conversation to have. And I keep hearing it repeatedly on ESPN's platforms. Like, oh, well, I don't know if they're ready for him. Well, if you ain't ready for him, you ain't ready for the job. So it's your job to say, hell yeah, he's a good football player. Bring him in and help us win. Not, oh, shucks, I don't know. We're not built right for having him. Well, that's a you problem. It's like Chris, whatchamacallit, the old Colts guy, complaining that Andrew Luck was your quarterback. Oh, he costs so much. Oh, we can't do
Can't afford a good offensive line.
Yo, bro, that's why you ain't got a job no more. Like, cry me a blanking river. Like, bring me good football players and win with them, or you don't last in this league. This isn't that hard. Oh, he's too good. Let's. The next time someone says that,
I don't
just shut the TV off.
I don't think anyone was saying he's too good.
They literally said it. They're not ready for him. Why would you want to have a really good running back when your team stinks? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because it'll help your run game and help your quarterback.
If your offense, you don't have a quarterback. It's either Jacoby Brissett or
the Lions,
some other guy.
What do you want to draft Barry Sanders for? You're not good enough.
Yeah, and look, Barry Sanders left early because
he had 10 years.
Marvin Harrison Jr. was drafted by the Cardinals last year. They still stunk.
Marvin Harrison Jr. hasn't been good.
Saquon Barkley was drafted by the Giants.
And they won a playoff game with him.
After a bunch of years, they still were bad for a while getting to that.
So,
you know what? Don't draft good players. Draft a bunch of average players and just hope that you're average. But you can draft an offensive lineman if he's good, but you can't draft a quarterback or running back wideout. That's what you're telling me. Or a corner.
I don't understand.
Can we please just draft good players and then try to win with them and not say, well, no, that's just not going to work. Now, if you can get a haul for those picks, all right, or for that player, okay, that's a different conversation. But this whole concept of if he's available and he's the best player, we shouldn't draft him because we're not ready for him, it's absurd.
I still don't think I understand exactly what this is because I don't. Like, the whole idea of drafting...
Stephanopoulos and Robin Williams weren't breaking that down this morning, or what?
Robin Roberts. Robin Williams, R.I.P.
A lot of good stuff, though.
No, I was watching Will Trent, and they were killing off Amanda Wagner while I was working out.
Meryl Streep on GMA this morning. Devil Wears Prada 2 coming out.
I saw that teased. I did not catch that.
And that's why you guys don't understand what I'm talking about.
So, Jason... the philosophy is from Evan and Michelle, and obviously they're not alone in asserting this. The number one thing you need to figure out in the National Football League is who your quarterback is. And then your identity of your team is built around who your quarterback is.
And there's nobody worth drafting
at number... didn't need that. Go ahead.
Once you figure out most teams,
Oh, Jackson Smith and Jigbo, can't draft him. We're not ready for him. We're not ready for him yet. Go ahead.
I feel like once I have this explained, I'm just going to agree with Tausch anyway.
Probably.
Because this is asinine.
So once you have your...
Sam Champion, what did he have to think about?
Oh, my God. Can I explain the rest of this? Sam Champion. They did have the guy...
Sam does a really good job.
Never mind. The guy from The Blind Side did a kind of a sad story. The guy from The Blind Side movie. Anyway. So once you have your quarterback figured out, once you have your head coach in place, then you build protecting the quarterback on the offensive line. Then you build a pass rush, you win the trenches, and then when the time is right, you go to the skill position players and you add pieces there, or you go to free agency to add skill position players to help your quarterback be better. But you got to protect your quarterback once you have one, and until you have that, there's not a lot of point in drafting an exceptional running back or an exceptional wide receiver if you don't have a dependable offense that can run the football because you can't block anybody, or you can't throw the ball because you don't have a quarterback who can get it to them. That is the theory and the philosophy behind the entire Jeremiah Love Cardinals conversation.
But first of all, they were hoping and believing they had their quarterback, say in Arizona, for example, right? They drafted the dude number 1 overall. The fact that he was a disappointment is neither here nor there. The idea that you're sitting at number 3 and there's no quarterback worth taking there, right? Like, I guess the Alabama kid is a first-round pick, but he's not a top 3 pick unless you're picking him because he's a quarterback, right? So my question is, the philosophy behind this is you pass on a good player so you can draft an offensive lineman, so next year you're slightly better when you get your quarterback, and then the year after that, this is ridiculous, and I was trying to agree with Tausch because it doesn't make sense to me, but at the same time, I just don't understand, can't you build your team and improve it through other ways? Because they're not going to get their quarterback this year. Mike LaFleur, their new coach, brother of Matt LaFleur, they're not getting a new quarterback in this draft unless they have a Russell Wilson-type third-round revelation. Fair? Is that a fair analysis of the quarterback position? Right? Fernando Mendoza is going to go first. Simpson's going to go sometime in the first round because he's a quarterback, and that's the list. The idea that you could build your team in 2026 around a really good running back and you stock your offensive line after you take Love, I don't see why that's a problem. Period. Finn. So, glad we spent that time discussing that because I still don't think I understand what the thought process is. So doesn't make sense to me.
All that to say, in Schefter's Draft Intel article, with the concept of Jeremiah Love going 3, the theory then is the Cardinals wouldn't take him at 3, so they're probably going to look to trade that pick. Who would be a suitor?
I saw that from him.
That would want to move up to 3 to take a difference maker like Jeremiah Love, like the Cowboys or a team like that could suddenly become an NFC contender rivaling the Packers.
Or they could get Jeremiah Love later and still get him. Like Adrian Peterson went, 7th in the draft that he was picked in? And oh, by the way, if you redrafted that draft, I'm guessing he goes like number 1 based on the career he had.
Let me just be crystal clear. If you're a team that stinks, get
you need
good
fewer players that stink.
Get good football players in your building. I don't care where they play. Bring them in and then you build around that. You don't sit, hope, and wait. Oh, well, we can't do that. Oh, let's do no. Great players. I've said this a million times. We had a really good offensive line from 2001 to 2004. You know why we were really good? Yeah, we could block but we were good because Amon Green was a stud, and Brett Favre is a Hall of Famer. So yes, O-line is important, and you win games, and Green Bay needs to add depth. There's no doubt about that. But if there is a dynamite difference maker, one of those 10% guys, a field tilter, Ron Wolf style, you bring him in your building and you figure it out. You don't sit and say, we're not ready for him. If you're not ready for him, get out of your job. It's your job to be ready for it. And this whole concept of we're not ready, great players are what turn programs around. It's not the other way. It's not, organizations go south when they start overthinking things. If you have somebody that is super special, bring them into your building. Now, if you want to trade and get a bunch of different options, I'm on board with that. But this whole concept of that is just patently absurd, and it goes against everything that football has ever been.
If you're a bad football team, get good players. I didn't think that would be a controversial take today, and it's certainly not controversial to me. Our discussion earlier about players calling it a career earlier and maybe not playing as long because they make money, and they're probably smart with their investments, which means they probably would have kicked Tausch's keister at financial literacy with Annex Wealth Management.
We had a great webinar last week. There's experts everywhere at the team at Annex Wealth Management. Look around our sports landscape. You're going to see all kinds of teams in transition. Might be the end of an era. A team with a star who wants out, searching for a new coach. Might be the beginning of something new, like the draft, where a leader moves on. You have to fill big roles, like a chancellor or an athletic director to set a new course. Well, maybe it's the unexpected. You think things are pretty good, and then there's some sudden injury or an unforeseen diagnosis that leaves you wondering what team you've even got around you. Well, we might act like it's unusual, but really it's the norm. And if you have kids like I do, there are transitions, driver's ed, changing schools, graduations, college, all the things. And you're not going to avoid those changes, but start planning ahead. A good plan considers all sorts of possibilities and outcomes, and that is what you get when you plan with Annex. You get a team full of doctors, smart type folks that are going to help you create a plan that's tested against hundreds of possibilities to make sure you stay on track. So give them a call for the things you see coming and for the things you don't. Their team will see it coming and need planning like they provide. Give Annex a call or visit annexwealth.com. That's annexwealth.com. Click on it. You get started on that today. And maybe we're going to get you registered to win some more prizes for a webinar coming down the pipe.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Upgrade to Iron Jock. Available now at ironjock.com.
Hold your friends close and your rivals closer on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I feel like as Wisconsin fans, we know of one donor, and that is Ted Kellner for the University of Wisconsin. The fact that we talk about him and nobody else's donors is part of the problem.
Part of it is that other schools have major donors. They have more than one.
Yes, that's the thing.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease into spring. It keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Now get 0% interest until 2030. That's years of no interest, so you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free in-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. But order by April 30th. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
I'm Isaac Miller, Wisconsin-born, Wisconsin-built, and proud to be wearing Cardinal white in the future. That's why teaming up with Iron Jock just makes sense. It's the gear that's made for how we live up here. Early mornings, late nights, and putting in that work when nobody's watching. Iron Jock isn't about flash. It's about showing up, staying tough, and representing where you're from. If you're built the same way, you already get it. Iron Jock, Wisconsin grit, every day.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Hey, sports fans, the ESPN app has all of ESPN all in one place. The ESPN app is your home to thousands of live events, ESPN shows, and originals across every ESPN network in service. And now you can check if you already have ESPN Unlimited as part of your TV package for no additional cost. Visit activate.espn.com to learn how to access your account or sign up, then start streaming in the ESPN app. It's all of ESPN all in one place. Sign up or activate now.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Couple things before we get to Adam Schefter's draft intel or before Tausch thinks of something else he wants to discuss?
I'm very curious. Make a couple calls up to your buddies up at Green Bay and see if Keyshawn Nixon reported today.
I wrote about the possibility that might not happen, so we'll have to find out. Before I do that, a couple things. First of all, we live in amazing times. Mark Tauscher mentions a reference to Kyle Kuzno in his father so-and-so's sermon, and now I have been sent said sermon. It's like magic. Secondly, and I am intrigued by this as well, Adam Schefter has a bunch of little pieces of information in his draft intel, but over the weekend, the New York Giants got a number 10 overall pick for Dexter Lawrence. Do we think the Packers were anywhere even close to being able to acquire him based on that price tag?
And they should not have been. The Bengals, this is going to end up being the demise of the entire Bengals operation.
Well, maybe their team's not ready for good football players to be drafted to it.
Who?
The Bengals.
I will say this. The fact that they got him to come in and you gave him basically a one-year extension. I don't know how much guaranteed money they got.
Mm-hmm.
But this reeks of desperation. Joe Burrow's unhappy. You don't win this year, your coach is gone. More than likely your quarterback's going to ask to be gone. And if the quarterback has to be gone, don't you think Jamar Chase will have to be? And you're going to go into a total and full-on rebuild. So you're throwing all your chips in, and that's great. I wouldn't say these are pocket aces that you're playing with. You're in a tough division now. Baltimore's in a state of transition. Pittsburgh's in a state of transition. Cleveland's Cleveland. So I get it, and I'm not saying that they should not have done this. I wouldn't have. I don't know if that's what the going price to give the Giants were not going to re-sign him. He's 29. He's coming off of a year that he wasn't as good, but Cincinnati needs to be markedly better on defense in order to keep that ship going. And the people that are in charge there thought this was the right move because, there's not enough good players in the draft. There's some good defensive linemen in this draft. To what degree, I don't know. But this whole deal just reeks of desperation to me, and typically those moves don't work out. But occasionally you'll have a 7-6 offsuit, and you'll catch a straight. You'll catch something, and you'll win. That's where I think Cincinnati's at.
So does Dexter Lawrence, does he get them that much closer to being respectable enough that they don't have to tear it down? Like they paid their quarterback, and they chose to pay 2 wide receivers, which limits your other options. They move on from Trey Hendrickson. I just don't does a defensive tackle, even someone as good as him, get you that much closer to not having to tear it down?
Yeah, if their defense can be markedly better, they're going to score points. Joe Burrow's got to stay healthy. I don't know if they can protect him, but this is a do-or-die year for that group. Their coach is going to be on the hot seat. He'll probably be one of the coaches. Now, Cincinnati doesn't fire coaches usually because they don't want to pay 2 coaches.
Correct.
But Joe Burrow has let it be known he's unhappy. It's his football team, man. He's basically the GM. They're listening to him. And this goes back to, again, man, the star quarterback's a powerful player. But then you better be all-time great. And he's been good. When he's healthy, he has been very good. But what have they done the last 3 years? I don't even know if they made the playoffs in 3 years. If you're an all-time quarterback, man, you ain't missing playoffs 3 years in a row. I don't remember Favre missing 3 years in a row, ever. I don't remember Rodgers missing 3 years in a row, ever. You want to be up in that category. I mean, you had a Super Bowl run. That's great. That was 6 years ago, man. That's eternity in this business. So if you get a Warren Sapp or you get a Aaron Donald, yeah, it'll change your metrics on how good your defense can be, especially if you get a team that can score a lot of points and you're a pass rusher. If I'm Cincinnati, I look at this like I need to get pass rushers and closers so I can make some stops and create some turnovers because my offense is really good. And you're banking that Joe Burrow can stay healthy. And if he can't, this thing is going to get blown up.
The Bengals reached the Super Bowl in 2021. They lost the AFC Championship at Kansas City in 2022. The last 3 seasons, they have gone 9-8, 9-8, and 6-11, missing the playoffs. Joe Burrow won Comeback Player of the Year in 2024, so they got that going for him after he missed all that time in 2023.
So if I may ask, what does this trade mean for the Green Bay Packers, if anything?
It means that they're smart and that they would never go down that road. It goes back to great players. And, DeMarcus, he's a good football player, man. He's good. How good is he still? Goody showed last year, if the right opportunity comes, he will make the big move. This wasn't it. And I love the fact that we're not just all in and all these buzzwords and catchphrases. That's not what we're about. And that can irritate some Packer fans, but that's not what we're about. And I think Goody is identifying and seeing the guys that he believes are your core players moving forward. Those players are Tucker Kraft, Xavier McKinney, Jordan Love, Micah Parsons. And then we'll see who some of those other players are.
Zach Tom. Paid him too. All right, we'll get to Adam Schefter. We'll get to the NFL draft. If we can get away from some of these other topics. Just like you may need to get away and you don't want to hop on a plane or board a cruise ship to feel like you've escaped, so your next getaway is much more conveniently located in Milwaukee at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Start with the stay. The biggest hotel rooms in Milwaukee, nearly 500 beautifully designed rooms and luxury suites that are perfect for a weekend reset, a date night, or celebrating something big, and you're just steps away from all the cool stuff that's happening inside. And if you're hungry, you've got so many options. Dream Dance Steakhouse, The Marketplace, Rock and Brews, Canal Street Cafe, Ruyi Asian Kitchen, Cream City Coffee Company. There are food and drink specials happening all the time. And if you're planning a birthday, a wedding, or an anniversary, their event spaces are built to make it unforgettable. Sophisticated relaxation, incredible flavor, and a full night out all in one place. It's Potawatomi Casino. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and I know which beverage I'm selecting with my top pick in the draft, and that is the Blue Mountains and the cool, refreshing taste of an ice-cold Coors Light. Well, at a baseball game in Milwaukee, at a bar down the road, or hanging out watching a game at home, every experience goes from good to great with Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Coors Light is brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it's actually made to chill. The mountains on Coors Light's cold-activated bottles and cans, they turn blue when they're chilled to perfection, which, besides the refreshing taste, is my favorite thing about drinking Coors Light. Refreshingly cold and only 102 calories, Coors Light is made to chill. Make an ice-cold Coors Light your top draft pick. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
Sure, you've got school spirit, but does your jewelry box?
At Chalmers Jewelers, we're proud to be an official retailer of University of Wisconsin jewelry.
Featuring the iconic Motion W, Bucky Badger, and more.
Prices start at just $65.
Whether you're tailgating, jumping around, or shouting on Wisconsin, let your jewelry join the celebration because even Bucky loves a little bling.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
I wasn't sure if I could afford college, and my family couldn't help me. But I'm so glad I didn't let that stop me. At Madison College, I found financial support beyond tuition. Even fuel, transportation, and technology has been covered. It's incredible that I'll be able to graduate debt-free. My advice to others, don't let financial barriers stop you. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
It's well known that the boss at the exteriors company is a perfectionist.
It's a gift.
He not only oversees every job, he inspects each aspect of the operation to get to the root of what your project will actually need to be long-lasting.
Call 960-ROOF.
Oh, he's proud of all the reviews.
What can I say? Take a look.
The Exteriors Company, built for Wisconsin, backed by expertise.
At J&K Security Solutions, protecting your home or business is more than just the priority. It's what we do. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. Since 1987, J&K Security Solutions has been committed to providing Madison and southern Wisconsin with dependable security solutions. Whether it's security, fire, or the latest automation solutions, go to jksecurity.com to see how J&K can help keep your home or business secure. Get protected now at jksecurity.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Running a business doesn't leave time to wait. You need answers and a banker who responds. At Starion Bank, you work directly with local decision makers who understand your business and act quickly. No runaround, no delays, just solutions. The right banking relationship makes a difference, especially when things get complicated. Starion Bank, built for the long game. Visit starionbank.com to get started today.
Brewers baseball is back.
Bowers a drive to right. It's way back and gone.
Tune in all season right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers.
Jesse, is it just me, or when you play this royalty-free Gremlin music, at the start, I feel like it's going to be "Come See What's Brewin'," like that, the little, tiny little start of that. Thought we were maybe going to have Dom Catronio join us or something. We do need to catch up with him, and we will talk some Brewers at some juncture this week. But we are talking NFL draft, or maybe NFL draft adjacent situations, including A.J. Brown, who is, quoting Adam Schefter in his Intel piece, likely to become a Patriot, which Diana Rossini has been reporting for a very long time. What impact does this have on the Packers, if any?
None.
I would say it already impacted two Packers wide receivers, as one left to join the Patriots in Romeo Doubs, and another was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles to perhaps replace, in the aggregate, A.J. Brown in Dontavion Wicks. But, I don't know, is this... We talked about Matt LaFleur and people who were disgruntled. I feel like A.J. Brown is like the poster child for disgruntlement. So, could this be addition by subtraction for the Eagles? Or does this not move the needle, in your opinion, at all in the NFC?
No, I mean, I think obviously anytime you take a number one wideout off of a team that has been, Super Bowl champs and been their division winners and kind of a little bit of a craw in your jaw from a Packer fan standpoint, I don't think it's a bad thing. But he was not very effective last year. He was miserable there, and you could tell. And I think, if I'm Philadelphia, I'm wondering, well, what's the root cause of all this?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they couldn't run the football last year, and that limited what Jalen Hurts could do. I don't think you write Philly off, because I think their defense is always going to be good. But offensively, I mean, they beat us, 10-7 in Green Bay? That offense stunk last year. That offense wasn't worth a lick. And nobody was scared of what they could do offensively, and that's why they fell short. So they need to do something different. We'll see if it works. They got a new offensive coordinator. They have new weapons. And from a Packer standpoint, Romeo Doubs was leaving regardless. Didn't matter where he went. The Wicks part of it is interesting because you ended up getting some picks that I didn't think you'd get. and you probably got somebody an opportunity. Whether or not that's going to be a good move or not is going to completely depend on if Green Bay stays healthy. Because if they don't, you're going to say, Wicks would have been worth not trading because he's been in his spurts, he's been very productive. He's had days where you're looking at him like he could be the real deal, but it just never clicked consistently, and he wasn't going to get the opportunity unless there was injuries to be able to do that again. And when you have that, and one of your big talking points outside of finish is disgruntlement, you can't knowingly have disgruntled guys be on your football team when you could move them, and especially when he's not going to be part of your long-term future.
In reading Adam's piece on ESPN.com, and if you haven't done that, it's worth your time. But we actually, I had not gotten to this part of the story when I mentioned it earlier. This is a really weird draft in that it's possible that Fernando Mendoza is the only quarterback who goes in the first round. And I'd be curious if that means that we've reached a point where teams aren't going to reach, pardon the pun, for quarterbacks anymore. I find that hard to believe. We just got done having a whole discussion about, do you draft Jeremiah Love if you don't know what your team is, you don't have your quarterback, which regardless of whether we think that's ridiculous, there must be some NFL teams that have that thought process, because otherwise, why is Adam and the unsportsmanlike crew talking about it, right? But the next quarterback that is likely to be drafted is obviously Simpson, who might go in the top of the second round. Does that devalue I'm not saying it's great that the Packers don't have a first-round pick. I'm not saying that. But a lot of times, one of the great things about having a first-round pick in a draft where there are teams trying to get a quarterback, I know in 2007, during your playing career, the Cleveland Browns were trying to get up to take Brady Quinn, and Ted turned down their offer because he really wanted Justin Harrell. In retrospect, probably would have been better off trading the 16th pick and getting something more in addition, and then maybe you still could have gotten Justin Harrell to not be a very good player, right? If there's not a lot of quarterback buzz, does that make your picks less valuable for trading purposes?
Obviously people give up a lot more when it's a quarterback in play, so yes, but I guess this season, this draft, that is not in play. I think at the end of the first round, that's where maybe Green Bay could utilize and push, but I just think they're going to stand pat, and if anything, they're going to trade back. I would love if they find someone that is dropped, and normally, if I would look at it more offensive line wise now, what happens in these drafts is a couple of players will fall off the board, and then all of a sudden, people that are thinking that they could have gotten a quality offensive tackle or an interior offensive lineman, and they see that there's a run going on them, they panic. So I don't care. There's always going to be a sense of panic with organizations that don't know what the hell they're doing. And fortunately for Green Bay, there's a bunch of organizations that don't. And you stick to your board, stick to your plan, and if there's a value that you think is worth going to reach or going to get a player that you know is going to be a good football player, at least in your heart of hearts, a la Clay Matthews, you go do it. And you trust your board. You don't say, oh, my gosh, Detroit grabbed a tackle, so now we need a tackle. We need to go reach. Even though we don't love this guy, we know that there's not another player. That's when you end up in a ton of trouble, and that's where organizations matter, is they don't panic and rush and listen to draft boards and end up having to go and give back 3 first-round picks to get Putney and give up a Putney. Organizations that stink are the ones that do that.
We'll get into more from Adam Schefter, including his intel on a former Packers quarterback who may or may not be playing for the team that is hosting the draft.
He's a complicated fella.
But before we can do that, we need to play some trivia presented by Iron Jock Cousin Subs and Vortex Golf. Jesse, did you just go with the old reliable sports weekend recap?
You betcha I did. Sports weekend recap on a Monday. A lot happened this weekend.
playoffs are underway in 2 major sports. That's big. All right. What caller would you like for today?
Caller 18. 18 sounds good.
Caller 18 for Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by Cousin Subs, Iron Jock, and Vortex Golf. Caller 18 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 18 plays trivia next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Mark Tauscher here for the great team at Everlight Solar. Well, the draft, the basketball playoffs, and another exciting baseball season, all signs that we're much closer to the start of summer. And as the weather gets warmer and the days get longer, that means more sunlight and more reasons to make the energy switch to Everlight Solar. Wouldn't you love to have a way to save money and save the planet? Well, good news, there is a way, and it's by making the switch to solar. Our family is one of the many who have made the switch over the last several years, and when we were ready to make the switch, we met with the Everlight Solar team, and they outlined the entire process and educated us on the benefits of making the switch. It was super simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more. Schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Steinhoffels. April is Sleep Awareness Month. Get $300 in Steinhoffels cash with a Tempur-Pedic mattress. Sleep better and wake up feeling refreshed. Relax. It's Steinhoffels. With this Badger Minute, I'm Jesse Nelson. It's portal season for Wisconsin men's basketball. Head coach Greg Gard and the Badgers have officially announced 3 additions from the NCAA transfer portal for next season. Senior guard Trey Autry from George Washington University. Forward Victory Onwetu, the leading rebounder last year for Hofstra, and senior wing Ian Elmer, who helped lead Miami, Ohio to an undefeated regular season. Both Onwetu and Elmer are coming off NCAA tournament appearances with their former teams. Follow along for the latest with the transfer tracker at ESPN.com.
Wisconsin weather is unpredictable. Your windows shouldn't be. Upgrade with Pella and get 0% interest until 2030. Order by April 30th at PellaWI.com.
What's new at Zimbrick Chevrolet? A lot. A free car wash with every service, plus a brand new detail facility to keep your ride looking fresh all year long. Relax with coffee and snacks while you wait, and if you can't, grab one of their numerous service loaners, take the shuttle, or even get a lift on them. Plus, Zimbrick Chevrolet has the largest new Chevrolet inventory in southern Wisconsin, and you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
Wisconsin, let's talk about something near and dear to my heart. Beer. Specifically, great beer. And if you haven't met Yuengling yet, allow me to introduce you. Yuengling is the oldest brewery in America, founded in Pottsville, PA in 1829. 197 years, 6 generations of family-owned brewing. Do you know how they became America's oldest brewery? By making great beer. This is a real American beer. Smooth, rich, and finally here in Wisconsin. So grab a Yuengling, raise a glass, and celebrate history the way it was meant to be celebrated, by drinking it. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Gearing up for tailgating, fireworks, festivals, and updating your home. This is an absolute season for it all. Siding Unlimited can handle the home part. Start the process by visiting Siding Unlimited at 2018 South Stoughton Road and check out our amazing showroom. Ideas will follow, and eventually you'll experience our fantastic carpenters installing new windows, siding, roofing, and doors. We do it all, and it starts by visiting our showroom or going to sidingunlimited.com.
You train hard, you work hard, but are you recovering well? At Sauna Day, Wisconsin's first thermal bathhouse in downtown Madison, we bring together the science of heat, cold, and rest. Shown to support cardiovascular health, reduce inflammation, improve sleep, and boost mental clarity. Whether it's post-workout, easing sore muscles, or just a couple hours to reset, this is recovery that's proven to work across the centuries. Go solo or bring your crew. Sauna Day, proven to raise vitality and designed to feel good.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Chris McIntosh is out, but don't flinch.
If he doesn't want to be the athletic director, that's great. You know, using one of my old slogans, you don't flinch.
Find Barry Alvarez's full interview with Wilde and Tausch, available on the ESPN Wisconsin app and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
is time for Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by Iron Jock Cousin Subs and Vortex Golf.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is presented by Iron Jock. No stank, just performance. And proudly Wisconsin-built. Shop now at ironjock.com. By Cousin Subs. Try the new Protein Power Plays. For subs loaded with protein and made with fresh ingredients you love. All for just $7.99. And by Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
Let's welcome in our contestants. It's Joan in Oak Creek. Joan, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing great today. How are you?
We are thrilled to have you. It's been a while. I hope you are up to speed on the weekend in sports, because the topic or subject is the sports weekend recap. And the first question is this. Which MLB team enters today with an 11-game losing streak, including being swept by the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field over the weekend? Is it the New York Mets, the Cincinnati Reds, or the Sacramento, Las Vegas, Oakland Athletics?
I'm going to say the Mets.
So David Stern's team not doing so hot, it appears. Correct, Mundo?
They are not. No. Struggling. 7-14.
How's Freddie Peralta doing, Jesse?
I mean, how's the whole team doing? They've lost 11 in a row.
Husky. Joan, question 2. There were 8 game 1s played in the NBA playoffs between Saturday and Sunday.
I didn't see them on anywhere. I didn't see any of the games.
I think 5 were on Amazon Prime, 1 was on ABC, and 2 were on NBC.
I saw some of, well, I don't want to say it. Well, let's ask the question first. But only one road team was victorious. 8 game 1s, only one road team won. Which team got a road win in game 1 over the weekend? Was it the Houston Rockets, the Orlando Magic, or the Atlanta Hawks?
Orlando Magic.
Nice! Had no idea on that one. I saw Tausch's guy SGA and Oklahoma City win big in their opening.
Gary Trent, that show that you were watching instead. He also plays for the Bucks.
But not Amanda Wagner, because they've killed her off. Question number 3, Joan, and a chance at a perfect day 1 of trivia this week is this. Which of these NHL teams did not qualify for the Stanley Cup playoffs this year? Is it the Montreal Canadiens, the Anaheim Ducks, or the Detroit Red Wings?
Detroit.
Tausch?
Nice! I wouldn't have gotten that one either. I did see that the Minnesota Wild went down to Dallas and beat the Dallas Stars to start their series.
Do you know that one, hockey guy?
I knew that the Wings weren't in the playoffs. I didn't know for sure if the Canadiens were. I know nobody in Canada has won a Stanley Cup in like 40 years or something, right?
You're our hockey correspondent. I'm going to take your word.
No, I've not said that.
Somebody
I'm a
get Pavelski on the horn. Joan, 3 for 3, 4 entries after last week's start to our trivia. This is at a 180-degree turn. This is great. Great job today. We appreciate you. Did you have anything you'd like to add before we let you go?
No, I really just love listening to you guys. You guys just really make my day. So thanks a bunch.
We love Joan.
Thank you very much.
I think Joan's one of those old school names that's going to make a comeback, too. Like, Joan's a good, strong name. Like, you don't hear a lot. Like, in the Open, Jason, Mark, we don't hear a lot. Joan is not a name that you hear a lot of young kids being called, hey, Joan. I think Joan's ready for a comeback.
And then you can go Joni.
Yeah, I like Joni.
Yeah. It's a good one.
And Chachi. That is Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by Iron Jock, Cousin Subs, and Vortex Golf. Joan's played before. She's savvy. I don't know if do we discuss her name being on a comeback trail every time she's on? I feel like we've had this discussion before.
Maybe we have, but as you always tell me, not everybody listens every day.
That's the truth. Some people don't listen at all, which it's their loss. You should listen to the 11 o'clock hour.
Got another montage for you if we're doing our draft throwback.
I want to talk Keyshawn Nixon. I want to hit Jason. I want Jason to do a little investigative reporting.
I texted him.
Okay, what did he say?
Nothing, and I didn't get the little 3 dots, so I don't think he's necessarily replying right now either.
Okay.
I mean, if he reported, he would be busy, right?
Who's his spokesperson again that won't let him talk?
Well, he's gone too.
Text Nate Hobbs. Maybe Hobbsy knows if he's
Nate Hobbs and I never really reached the point of having a rapport, so I don't have his number. But nevertheless, we can discuss that to kick off the 11 o'clock hour.
So you don't want the montage?
After we play the montage.
It's a good one from 2022. And this one's actually relevant because a lot of these guys just left in free agency this year.
Jesse, you're selling this pretty hard.
Crying.
I was going to play it regardless.
We're going to play the montage. Get it? We're going to be fine. Oh, my God.
You're so put upon. We're really... the montage and a discussion of Keyshawn Nixon's contract situation kicks off the 11 o'clock hour in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. And when you look around right now, everything seems to be extra expensive in the world. Except this. Right now, get a large 3-topping pizza for just $10 at Pizza Hut. Try it on Pizza Hut's new hand-tossed crust. Crispy and golden outside, soft and fluffy inside. Finished with garlic parm seasoning. Available for delivery or carryout. Order today at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. Pizza Hut. Feed good times. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors. Trusted and local experts providing the best quality roof, siding, windows, and doors. Expertly installed and at an affordable price. Get your free estimate today at ridgetopexteriors.com. It is NFL Draft Week. The Green Bay Packers slated to make their first pick in the second round on Friday night in Pittsburgh. The first round kicks off on Thursday night. The latest draft and intel from ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter. It's always juicy. Check it out over at ESPN.com. We've been discussing it throughout the morning, including the potential for A.J. Brown to join the New England Patriots after June 1st. That's according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Check out all the latest over at ESPN.com and on the ESPN app. Baseball, the Brewers had a 4-game winning streak snapped yesterday afternoon. They did take 2 of 3 over the Miami Marlins over the weekend. 5-3 the final on Sunday. The Brewers 3 games over 500, but tied with the Cubs for the last place spot in the NL Central. Everybody's over 500. What is this, the NFC North? Brewers are off today. They visit the Detroit Tigers for the first of 3 tomorrow night, 5:40 first pitch.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers, quarterback to California.
Every draft is so important to your football team.
You need to go big.
Let's see what we got here.
Jordan Love.
Aaron Rodgers has told certain members of the organization that he does not want to return to the Green Bay Packers.
Brian Gutekunst has learned his lesson. Exactly. Don't mess with Aaron Rodgers.
For the love of God, please take a wide receiver.
they are not in the best player available situation.
Really, the biggest storylines are the Packers going to move up and get a receiver.
I personally want to get as many swings as possible.
The odds of any of them turning into the next A.J. Brown or Terry McLaurin are not high. It's not a sure thing.
But I would say Jameson Williams has to be in the discussion.
For Williams, he's got it. Touchdown, Alabama.
Chris Olave, if he gets down that far.
It's Olave. Touchdown.
Or Jahan Dotson.
Terrific catch made by Dotson in the back of the end zone for a Penn State touchdown.
Could be a Sky Moore, who I think is the most underrated offensive player in this draft.
Looking for more. What a grab.
Oh, my goodness.
Touchdown, Sky Moore.
I don't know if it's any different than any other year, but it's significantly important for us.
I don't think they're going to have the best team in the NFC.
You are gifted these 2 picks in a year that is turgid with wide receiver talent.
Aaron Rodgers is on a pitch count. They've got to get somebody who can help him in September when the season starts.
Go make a move. Don't just sit back and, whatever falls to us, we'll take
The problem with swinging for the fences is sometimes you strike out.
We'll kind of see what's available, and I think a lot of it's just going to be how the draft falls.
The Green Bay Packers select Eric Stokes, Jair Alexander.
You can't go 4 straight years and have the best team in the NFC and not get to a Super Bowl.
With the 22nd pick, with the 28th pick.
Here comes Roger Goodell with Green Bay's pick.
It's 2022 all over again. That is Johnny Montage's montage heading into the 2022 draft.
That was a good one.
Sky Moore, the Packers got him. 5 years later.
Worked out.
Didn't even have to use any draft picks to get him.
No, indeed. Boy, it is fun to listen to that, isn't it? Just to kind of get a glimpse of where things were at back in the day.
Jameson Williams has been, I think, okay. He's explosive.
Yeah, he's been better than okay.
When he's been on the field, he's been very good.
I don't think we'd be. I don't think we'd be super stoked if he was who we picked.
Jahan Dotson, you definitely wouldn't be.
No. I'd be fine with Williams, but who did we end up picking? I don't even know if I heard that.
Quay Walker.
Oh, yeah, and then
Devontae Wyatt. Interesting, by the way.
Who would you rather have? Jameson Williams or Quay Walker?
Since we don't have either one now?
But also think about this, because that was Rodgers' last year, 2022, in Green Bay. How would it have impacted? You heard that mentioned in the Monda. How would that have impacted that season?
Yeah.
Rather than how it ended up going down, missing out on the playoffs in the final game of the year.
Uh-huh.
I think that die was set, regardless.
Interesting that we heard 2 first-round picks mentioned there, 2018, Jair Alexander, 2021, Eric Stokes. Wrote about the corners today on Channel 3000. You want to know why they're in the position they're in at corner? The last 4 drafts, they've drafted 3 corners out of the last 4 drafts, and they've all been 7th-round picks. Carrington Valentine, Kalen King, and Micah Robinson. And only one of those 3 is still with the ball club, which is how Keyshawn Nixon ends up as your number 1 corner, and in the final year of a 3-year, $18 million extension, which he signed when he was still a special teamer and a part-time defensive player. And now, here we are in 2026, and he is your number 1 corner. Carrington Valentine is your number 2, and Benjamin St. Juste, who you signed in free agency, is your 3. That's not great, Bob, and it doesn't get better if Keyshawn Nixon doesn't feel like he's being properly compensated with a $4.3 million base salary and no guaranteed money left on his contract. Does that sound like a quandary to you, OT?
Yeah, I think if all things are equal, that's where Green Bay is going to go. If there's not some big discrepancy as far as talent and love of football and all the things that they look for from an evaluative standpoint, I do think that spot with the Keyshawn, they're not going to, I'll be shocked if Keyshawn Nixon gets a big boy contract and is going to be the number one corner in Goody's eyes for the next 4 or 5 years. I'll be shocked. Not to say it can't happen. I'll be shocked. Carrington Valentine, he's going to get opportunities. He's going to have to show that he's more willing to play with some physicality if he's going to be that number one. But I think he's done enough things that you like, but he's been inconsistent enough that Green Bay didn't even play him at certain points last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a room that there is no doubt they know they need to make some difference. They need to do some things differently. They brought in old boy from the Chargers.
St. Juice.
And my guess is that with that pick, if it's, I know we like the cat from Indiana, even though he's 5'9", you want some guys that are ball hawks that can go play. And it'd be nice if he's 6'1", 6'2". He's not. But somewhere I would think that is a position that with that 52nd or whatever number pick we have.
52nd, yeah.
With that 52nd pick, I would be that's where I think Green Bay in a perfect world would find their next player.
So Tausch is referring to D'Angelo Pons, who is the Indiana corner. The Packers do hold the 52nd overall pick. Dane Brugler, in his Beast Draft Preview Guide, which I have to say makes your subscription to The Athletic and The New York Times well worth it if you subscribe. He does a really, really, really good job. My question for you, though, and they did have a couple corners in for visits as part of their permitted 30. One of them is a guy named Charles Demings, who played at Stephen F. Austin. He's a second or a third round pick. Maybe could fall into day 3 of the draft, but he was one of the players they brought in for a visit. They brought another corner in as well. I don't know if Stephen F. Austin is necessarily the football factory that Goody likes to choose. Like, he likes to go to Georgia a lot for his picks. But Tausch, the old saying about corners is you can never have too many corners, right? It seems pretty clear that the Packers don't have enough of them, right? And they have 8 picks, and they do have other needs. Does it not feel like they have left this position to kind of die on the vine at the moment? They only have 6 of them on their roster right now. Like, total. And 2 of them are Shamar Bartholomew and Jalen Simpson, who they brought up from the practice squad at the end of the season for that big JV game. And another is Kamal Hadden, who had a catastrophic ankle and leg injury the last time we saw him on the field. Like, it's Keyshawn, Carrington, and St. Just, and that's kind of the list. That's not good.
You can factor, I think Bullard is going to be your slot, right? Isn't that kind of where we've come? So that,
for sure,
that helps you. So it's, an accurate assessment is that this room needs more talent infusion. I'll agree with you on that.
Well, we will see what they do with the 52nd pick, which is their first pick. So how concerned should we be if Keyshawn Nixon is, shall we use the word, disgruntled with his contract, and the offseason program kicked off today? Rob Domofsky has the list on his Twitter account of the players who have workout bonuses. Now, in order to attain said bonus, you have to participate in 84.375% of the workouts. So that is the minimum. Among the players with hefty bonuses, Josh Jacobs, $600,000, Jordan Love, Zach Tom, and Christian Watson, $500,000. Aaron Banks and Xavier McKinney, $400,000. And then way down at $200,000, Nick Neiman, Benjamin St. Just, and Keyshawn Nixon. If I'm if I'm Keyshawn Nixon, I like money. I would hate to not get my $200,000, but at the same time, the only thing I have to try and convince the team that they need me and they need to compensate me better than they're scheduled to is withholding my services. Would you report if you were him?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough call. And I think from his perspective, you don't want to give away $200K either, and you could still go. You're going to need to work out, but you need to, if you want to try to ruffle some feathers, you can't go. If you're going to be dead set on saying, I'm not playing unless I get a new deal, you have to stand strong, and that's a $200,000 investment in trying to get more. I don't know where Green Bay's head's at on this. I've said all offseason this is going to be a fascinating thing to watch, especially with limited numbers of corners that you have and the fact that right now Keyshawn is your number one. And for as much as we saw highlights of Keyshawn getting beat by DJ Moore, and Keyshawn Nixon played, I thought he was okay last year. Do you want to have him as your number one going forward? You'd hope that you could upgrade and then let Keyshawn, play maybe a lesser role, but that's not where they're at right now. So he knows that. And it's an interesting time because the draft coming, I'm sure Goody knows it, and I'm sure he's scouring to find a lot of young, really good players that he hopes can come in and fulfill those roles. But from Keyshawn's standpoint, I think if you're maybe I'm misreading this. Maybe he is completely fine and he's not bothered by the contract. I'll be shocked. Like I always say, I could be wrong, but I'm not. I'm fairly confident that that's how this is going to go. And in order for him to move the needle, you can't just come in status quo and hope. You have to push. And the only way to push is to withhold services.
Okay, so what is that? So what would you do? Let's put yourself in that same spot. Because you're not going to pass up money. Is there any value in saying, look, I'm not happy with my contract, but I'm here anyway, as a show of good faith? Like, if we use Elton Jenkins as the other example,
how'd that work?
It didn't do him a damn bit of good. And he wasn't asking for new money, which I think Keyshawn at $4.3 million in base salary and nothing else left on his contract would be asking for more money. In Elton Jenkins' case, he wanted to guarantee the money that was remaining on his contract, to which they said, no, because we're going to cut you after this season. I mean, they didn't say that out loud. That'd be the quiet part. But that was why they didn't do it. They didn't want to be on the hook for any more, and they said, hey, we're playing hardball. Thanks for moving to center. We're not going to do anything for you. Sorry.
Well, to answer your question, I think how I would approach it is I would go in and have conversation and say, this is where I'm at. Where are you guys at? And if if they say, play this year out and be done, and you have to make a decision. Do you want to give up $200 and then you'll get fined if you don't show up for the mini camp, and then you'll get fined if you don't go. So Elton kind of played that game, and I think he came in for the mini camp because he didn't want to get fined.
Correct. Didn't do anything.
He ended up having to play it out, and he ended up getting $12 million a year from Cleveland, and he's going to start there. And did it work out the way he wanted? No. So this is part of the game, and you have that conversation, and I think you hope that there's going to be an honest exchange of ideas. And my guess is you either get some sprinklage where they will throw some incentives and maybe some more playing time and spruce it up, that if he's playing as the number one corner that he'll get paid more. But the idea of extending and paying him top dollar as a number one corner, that's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. That is what he's going to want. I don't think he's going to get that. And the last thing you want to do is throw $200,000 down the drain and then also get fined. And we saw with Elton last year, and that's not, I don't think it's a direct correlation, but there's no doubt that when you don't come in and you're not practicing and you're missing camp, stuff can kind of play itself out, and it never ends for either side great. And that would be my message if I'm Keyshawn. It's like, listen, man, I don't want to be disgruntled. I want you to take care of me, and if you don't take care of me long term, I want you to at least make this thing more palatable for this season and then let me go. Maybe they're not going to franchise him anyways, but then maybe that could be part of this. We'll let you go ball out this year and then go make money a la Romeo Dobbs. That's how I see this thing playing itself out.
All right, I want to ask you, I asked you what you would do if you were Keyshawn. I'm going to ask you next what you would do if you were Goody, if there is some sort of half measure, a sprinklage, a sweetener that you would consider to make sure he's not disgruntled. Because let's be honest, the Packers aren't exactly negotiating from a position of strength at that position either, if we're looking at where their depth chart is at. So we'll talk about that after Tausch talks about UW Credit Union.
Well, UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here, and for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here forever. You proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals on Wisconsin, off fees. Get a checking account with no monthly fees at UW Credit Union. And again, I love this. Buc-ee's everywhere. Branches are everywhere throughout the state of Wisconsin, and UW Credit Union is out in all of those communities doing good things within it. Join today at uwcu.org, insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions to apply.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
For over a century, one family has helped generations move forward. Christofferson Moving and Storage. They've built a legacy of trust, celebrating 120 years in 2026. With transparent, upfront pricing, highly trained professional crews, and flexible services designed around you, they protect your home and belongings with expert care and clear communication every step of the way. Let them handle the heavy lifting so you can focus on what's next. Christofferson Moving and Storage. Your best move since 1906. Get your complimentary quote at ChristoffersonMoving.com.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
With baseball games streaming live on YouTube and Prep Mania Weekly with insights from the Dean Dennis Semrau, find the biggest games and the most compelling stories of the spring high school sports season on ESPN Madison. Plus, follow our social media platforms to find teams and athletes in your community featured each week.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania on 100.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
At Carbon World Health, feeling your best isn't a luxury, it's a lifestyle. From advanced aesthetics and rejuvenating med spa treatments to personalized wellness care, everything there is designed around you. Whether you're refreshing your look, boosting your confidence, or investing in total body wellness, Carbon World Health combines medical expertise with a spa-like experience you'll love. Discover the med spa Sun Prairie is talking about. Book your consultation today at Carbon World Health, where wellness meets results.
All the biggest voices, all in one place. The Yingling Guest Hotline. Exclusive insight from Hall of Famers, All-Stars, and Game Changers, all on the Yingling Guest Hotline.
Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas.
We got to play with the structure we have. We got to play with the ball that they gave us.
The Yingling Guest Hotline on ESPN Wisconsin.
We're Wisconsin. What are the things that we can do to try to make us more competitive in the current environment?
Yingling, now officially in Wisconsin. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
My fiance wanted to incorporate me in the process of picking out my engagement ring. And we went to Chalmers, and that was the first place that we went to look for rings.
The staff educated us right away, and we felt very comfortable, and I learned a lot about diamonds.
Chalmers did a great job explaining the process to us, the type of grade of the diamond.
Just from the second you walk in, I mean, there's somebody who's taking you over, showing you exactly what you want in your price range.
I think that my ring is the most beautiful ring I've ever seen, thanks to Chalmers Jewelers.
Mark Tauscher here, and if you know me, you know I love Wisconsin. That's why I'm a UW Credit Union member. Their team's been all about Wisconsin since 1931, and they love making banking easy for members. Whether it's with their convenient mobile app or with the great perks like early payday to get you paid sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Discover the all-new TPC Wisconsin, Madison's premier destination for families, women, and golfers of all levels. Fresh off a stunning $30 million transformation, TPC Wisconsin offers more than championship golf. Enjoy a welcoming community with tennis, pickleball, a world-class golf academy, swimming, fitness, and family-friendly activities all year long. Experience the newest TPC golf club in the world right here in Madison. Visit tpcwisconsin.com to explore memberships and schedule your tour today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Henningsen with Stoughton Health Ortho Team Clinic. I specialize in joint pain and joint pain surgery, specifically hip and knee replacement, including second-time surgery for hip and knee replacement.
Learn more at orthoteam.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
We'll do a little Whoa Nelly coming up a little bit later in the program. But I want to get an answer to the question, Judge. So we talked about what Tausch would do if he was Keyshawn Nixon.
Okay, so I just answered what I'd do if I was Keyshawn. What are you doing if you're Goody?
I'm sweetening his deal, but then again, I wanted to sweeten Elton Jenkins' deal too. So the reason I was going to ask you is because you drive a harder bargain than me. I'm looking at my depth chart going, I do not want to go through an entire offseason with Benjamin St. Juste and Carrington Valentine as my number 1 and number 2 corners, and then have to hope that with my 8 picks that I have, even if I'm going to try and accumulate more of them by trading back, I don't have to hope that a corner is there when I need them. And I don't understand. Like, I really don't. And Goody could say, well, that's just the way the board fell, which I think is the way he said it last year. But each of the last 3 years, in 2022, they did not draft a corner. In 2023, 7th round, Carrington Valentine. And you are proof positive that a 7th round pick can be a diamond in the rough and be a really good player. 2024, Kalen King, no longer with the club. 2025, Micah Robinson, no longer with the club. Signed off the Packers practice squad by the Tennessee Titans a year ago and now is still with them, I believe. So how do you look at your depth chart if you're Goody? And is there not value in saying, look, we're not going to give you a full-fledged long-term extension, but we'll sign you to a 1-year extension. We'll give you some money up front. And that way we're not tied, no offense, but that way we're not tied into you for 2027 if we don't want to be. But you get more money this year than the $4.3 million you're scheduled, and welcome back to the offseason program if he's not there, and I don't know that. So I think if you feel like having people who were disgruntled took its toll on your season a year ago, then maybe there's a little bit of give and take that you can make a few people a little more gruntled. Am I wrong?
I think the idea of sprinkling, and I don't know about extending even a year because he's not going to want to do that. I think you sprinkle and you say, go out there and make it happen for you. I just don't envision there any chance of Green Bay signing him to, what is a big-time starting corner, $25-30 million a year?
Yeah,
that's about
he's not getting that.
Could he end up being, where you get to 15-20 a year? I don't think Green Bay's going to do that either.
He's 28 years old. That also is part of the equation.
When all of that is factored in, I think you add in-game bonuses. You can add that up. You can give Pro Bowl, All Pro. You can put some things in there that'll make this a little bit more palatable. But I don't know. Sans getting him a big new extension, I don't think you're going to make Keyshawn happy. And maybe this is all foolish talk, and Keyshawn's like, man, I just love playing ball, and I'm good. I'm
just
good playing for
bias.
this. I don't think that's the case, and it shouldn't be the case. He probably last year hadn't really established himself, and I know there's Packer fans out there saying, well, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah, he was your number 1 corner last year. You don't have to like it. And you don't have to think he did an awesome job doing it. I thought he was pretty good. All in all, I think he's a solid cornerback in this league, and you can win with him playing. We saw that. But I don't want him lining up on Justin Jefferson. I don't think that's something that you want to live with doing, and I don't think you want to extend and put a bunch more money into where Keyshawn's at. So this is something that I've said I was intrigued by all-offs because it's a complicated issue. It's not – I think the easiest solution to this that the Packers will, I think, be okay with is adding some incentive-based stuff that he can earn much more than what he's due to be paid because he's vastly underpaid as the number one corner. He should have an opportunity to do it. But if he wants to play hardball, I think Green Bay is fine Elton Jenkins him and saying, now this is what it's going to be, and then after the season you can figure it out.
So you have expressed your concerns about the offensive line. Are you concerned about the cornerback group?
Not as much.
Why not?
Because I believe that this pass rush with Micah Parsons, we heard Evan Williams, I think our safeties and the three of them are all really good football players. And
I agree.
They'll figure that out. And when you have Micah Parsons, and I know he's going to miss a couple games. I don't know how many he's going to miss. I just feel a lot better about that side of the ball. And I watched enough football last year to think this group can get after it. And their corners, I'm assuming Valentine's going to be better. I don't know anything about this young fella, but Nate Hobbs was not good last year. So I'm not bummed about that. I think the bigger question is, can Jonathan Gannon get as much out of this group as Jeff Hafley did? That's the question that I have, and I think they'll be better against the run than what they were, even though I thought last year they were okay outside, obviously, of that Baltimore game.
I'm sorry. I know I have the reputation of being the negative Nelly when it comes to Goody. But I feel like it's a fair question to ask whether he's mismanaged the corner position. He spent...
Why don't we ask our fans, what group are you more concerned about? Because this leads into the draft. I think it's going to be an O-lineman or a corner that's drafted. That's what I think.
At 52.
On Friday, yes. And if that is the case, I'll feel good either way about it. Any other position, now if there's a home run hitting tailback that they decide to get,
Jeremiah Love.
He ain't going to be at 52. I don't care how many people listen to Evan and
Packers in a position? Are they in a position where they could draft a guy like
No, you
Love?
Don't want good players. You never want to bring good players into your program. He would be dynamite for a lot of teams, and I think you'll find that if he can stay healthy, I think people are going to be pretty excited about him. But those are the two spots that I think the most concerns are, and that's the spots that I think Green Bay is going to have to address throughout the 3-day draft.
I understand. I think it's a good question, and we can pull that. I would say, though, that even if you have a bunch of great safeties, which they have 3 really good ones, that I don't know if I've ever seen a depth chart at corner with fewer recognizable names to an average fan. Like, I know our fans are very educated, but I'm guessing they don't know a whole hell of a lot about Kamal Haddon. And remember, they were on the verge of having to play Bo Melton on defense last year. I mean, they called 2 guys.
Bo. Yeah, but get him back. He's got another year now. More experience out there.
Re-signing on the exclusive rights tender. I'm not sure what position they're considering him right now, because he stopped practicing at corner late in the year last year.
Well, it's because he had to be a wideout.
Right. When you only draft 3 7th-round guys, even if you're a draft and replace program, at the same position where you drafted first-round guys in 18 in Jair and in 21 in Eric Stokes, that seems like, to me anyway, that you're thin at a position where people love to say you can never have enough of them. They look pretty thin to me.
Well, they also say you can never have enough good offensive linemen. Like, you literally could say that about every position.
I don't think that that's a saying.
No. You can never have enough good offensive linemen? You don't think that's a saying? It's a saying. Oh, you can never have enough good running backs. I mean, nobody
ever says you can never have enough good running backs. No.
I just said
it's corners.
No, it's everywhere. That's the league that we live in.
Can never have enough good kickers.
Well, last year we definitely felt that.
You can never have enough expertise if you've been injured in an accident and you want to be paid accordingly to take care of your bills and everything else that's happened to you. So that's why you got to call the one call, that's all. David Gruber and Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666, or go to the website gruber-law.com. I keep seeing the old school commercials showing, like they're off of like VHS tapes, they're so old, of David saying that in the early days. And it's true. It all takes is one call. That's all to get your case started. So make the call. 414-276-6666, Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Have you seen the one with the puppies?
I have. It's a nice break.
Yeah.
It's kind of a timeline cleanser, if you will.
We just want to make you smile, and they show a bunch of puppies playing. He goes, "You're welcome." It's great. That's my favorite commercial on television.
You can never have enough puppies. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, sports fans, the ESPN app has all of ESPN all in one place. The ESPN app is your home to thousands of live events, ESPN shows, and originals across every ESPN network in service. And now you can check if you already have ESPN Unlimited as part of your TV package for no additional cost. Visit activate.espn.com to learn how to access your account or sign up, then start streaming in the ESPN app. It's all of ESPN all in one place. Sign up or activate now.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease into spring. It keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Now get 0% interest until 2030. That's years of no interest, so you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free in-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. But order by April 30th. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. And when you look around right now, everything seems to be extra expensive in the world. Except this. Right now, get a large 3-topping pizza for just $10 at Pizza Hut. Try it on Pizza Hut's new hand-tossed crust. Crispy and golden outside, soft and fluffy inside, finished with garlic parm seasoning. Available for delivery or carryout. Order today at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. Pizza Hut. Feed good times. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Every round.
Here comes Roger Goodell with Green Bay's pick.
Every pick.
The Green Bay Packers select.
Every second of the NFL Draft. Right here on ESPN Madison.
You look at where we are right now at corner. There's only 2 lock first-round corners.
Tune into ESPN Wisconsin's draft coverage all weekend.
It's time, baby!
ESPN Wisconsin Draft Night begins with Round 1, Thursday, April 23rd. Right here on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Vortex Golf makes rangefinders for serious golfers who need an accurate number every time. With 3 options, the Blade, Blade Slope, and Anarch, there's a Vortex rangefinder that fits your game. Crystal clear optics and features like image stabilization keep you steady in big moments. Plus, every Vortex Golf product is backed by a no-questions-asked lifetime warranty. If you're looking for an accurate number every time, Vortex Golf belongs on your bag. Grab yours and everything you need for golf season in Wisconsin at Shields.com.
Chris McIntosh is out, but don't flinch.
If he doesn't want to be the athletic director, that's great. Using one of my old slogans, you don't flinch.
Find Barry Alvarez's full interview with Wilde and Tausch, available on the ESPN Wisconsin app and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
By the way, Brian Gutekunst will speak at 11 a.m. tomorrow in advance of the draft from the new media auditorium at Lambeau Field. I will be there. We are scheduled at Brian Bulaga as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs.
Could be a little jelly and belly action while Jaybird is down there.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry,
jelly
who?
in the belly. Could be. And Blue's skinnier in the rail right now.
To jelly and the belly, I say...
The belly of the whale?
Whoa, Nelly!
Have you not heard the belly of the
good.
whale?
The guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks.
Is that
He said,
McCool's
Mama, take
sermon
my
on
5 of them
Saturday or
flapjacks. I
Sunday?
say,
No,
Brother Crimson
nothing
Tide."
beluga.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
I would just like to say
break
for the
down
record...
Dunker, because everybody's thinking the Packers are going to draft the Dunker.
I knew where you were going there. The beluga whale, Jonah and the whale. You were there. I get it. The jelly in the belly, though.
I didn't say jelly on the belly. I said jelly in the belly.
I'm not sure that's any better.
It's probably fair.
I'd like to flashback 6 years to when you first called me Jelly and say, double down that I don't want that nickname. And
what was the genesis of that? We know Jaybird was invented
he messed
by
up
Scuba
saying
Chad.
Nelly and said Jelly by accident and said, Jelly. Yeah.
My favorite is when he texts our group and he says, "Good job, Gel."
Yeah.
Well, good news is we don't have that text all that often.
Whoa, Nelly!
The Milwaukee Brewers.
That was kind of mean, but it was funny.
Milwaukee Brewers had a 4-game winning streak into Sunday afternoon before it was snapped in Miami. I found it. Jeff Levering pointed this out on the radio broadcast that I caught in the pregame yesterday. Sal Frelick was given the day off in Miami. It was his birthday on Saturday. Do you think with a 4:10 local first pitch Saturday and then a day game on Sunday in Miami on your birthday, you think that had anything to do with Sal Frelick getting a day off on Sunday? Levering said it did not. I don't know if I buy it.
I'm going to buy it. I'll buy it. Levo's on it. What a weird time. 4 o'clock game?
Local in Miami was 3 o'clock here Central Time, yeah.
Salvatore is an upstanding fella.
I suppose Miami, they don't turn out great regardless, and they don't want a Saturday night.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Team came out a little flat yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if everybody went out for Sal's
so you're
birthday
saying
on Saturday night.
They got hammered and they couldn't perform the next day is what you're saying.
I think that a Saturday night in Miami for a young team that could use a little bit of a break after a tough stretch, and they had won 4 straight, I think they probably went out on Saturday night in Miami, yeah.
Sounds like you should have went down to Hard Rock Casino Rockford. You had a good vibe on what was going on.
Well, after the fact, when I heard Levo say it was Sal's birthday on Saturday, that's when I realized, yeah, they probably had a big night. And then they're off today going to Detroit. If you have an off day going from Miami to Detroit in April to continue the road trip.
You're going to pick going to Detroit over Miami any day,
You
right?
got to spend an extra day in Miami rather than getting on the plane going to Detroit right away, right?
I don't think that's how travel works in the majors, though.
I think they're more worried about getting to the city that they're going to be playing in so that they're accustomed.
You get a day off on a Monday after a day game on Sunday. The last place in April that you want to be is Detroit.
So you're saying Murph should have said, hey, here's the deal. We're going to stay Sunday after the game. You guys go out and get wrecked Sunday night, and then we're going to fly in Monday to Detroit.
That's exact. I would have done Spring Break Brewers edition in Miami Sunday after the game. Yeah.
But don't you think the Saturday night's probably a bigger night in Miami than a Sunday night?
I would think so.
Yeah, but for the Brewers, that way you don't go out and get trashed for Sal's birthday, and then you can win the game, go on a 5-game winning
streak. Sounds like you want to have a conversation around Sal's birthday about the Brewers' party.
It's the time we have a conversation about the Brewers' off-the-field habits. Next on Jesse's podcast.
Let me tell you something. The 82 Brewers got hammered all the time. Home, away, neutral. And they almost won a world championship.
I would like to know a little extra. Maybe I'll text Levering or I'll see if we can get some insight here on what the plans were Saturday night, Sunday night, and for the trip to Detroit, and if they spent some extra time out in Miami. I would like to know that information.
In any way, do you feel like this is irresponsible, what you're doing right now?
Yeah, it's for sure irresponsible.
Not at all.
Questioning the professionalism and the alcohol consumption of major leaguers.
Oh, I'm sorry. NFL players don't ever go out at any point during the season to have a couple of brews for someone's birthday.
But things are pretty tight on night before games.
Tausch.
Nights before games, absolutely
not. Baseball is very different than...
Is it?
Well, you're the one who drew the comp just now.
You play
You're the one that could play for the
162.
Mallards. I can't specify what Major League Baseball players do. I'll leave that up to you.
You don't find out during the season, but you find out later on. Yeah, they went out on that night, and then there's a reason everybody was off on Sunday.
If he comes out and hits 3 home runs on Sunday, he's a Max McGee legend.
He's Max McGee, exactly.
So
I'm guessing that they went out for Sal's birthday on Saturday night in Miami.
Are there too many teetotalers in professional athletics now? Do you want your Mickey Mantles and your
whiskey drinkers, not milk drinkers?
And do you want that?
Yes.
And then you can critique them when they struggle.
For the record, I fully support and hope they did go out for Sal's birthday on Saturday night. I think that's a nice break for, again, they were on a bad losing streak. They turned it around, got a couple of nice wins. Vibes are good. Churio will be back soon. He's hitting on the field this week. I say go out and celebrate if you want to while you're in Miami. You got a day off on Monday. They had Miz pitching yesterday, so they probably thought, we can go have a couple of teenies and then be good on Sunday.
A couple of teenies?
Yeah, you're in Miami. You got a tropical drink while you're out on Saturday night in South Beach. Yeah, Miz is going to go gave him 9 strikeouts, but a couple of errors. Wonder why that happened in the field. Huh.
Wouldn't happen to the Mallards if you were at second base, though.
Whoa, Nelly!
Happy birthday, Sal Frelick.
Oh, Joe.
What else did I have on? NBA playoffs over the weekend.
What else did I have?
Yeah, I had a lot of good stuff prepared today. NBA playoffs over the weekend. Tausch
were you drinking last night while you were watching NBA playoffs?
Saturday afternoon, I might have had a few. Yeah, I had a nice little Saturday.
Meat raffle?
Actually, Friday night I did too, to think of it.
Was it a meat raffle?
No. We were at Buck and Honey's on Friday night for a little birthday
with a
dinner.
rainbow.
Yeah, beautiful rainbow leading right to Buck and Honey's.
Did we miss your birthday?
No, it was Becca's sister's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday to her on Friday.
Whoa, Nelly!
So, Tausch, you said you barely watched any of the NBA playoffs?
No, it wasn't on.
It was on. It was on Amazon Prime. 5 of the 8 games.
I'm sorry. I'm not turning on a first-round game where I have to go click on a stream button. No, I'm out. Not when I got Homeland to watch.
So you're boycotting NBA playoff games that are on Amazon Prime.
If it's not on ESPN, ABC, I'm not watching it. Just not. And that's okay.
So you didn't watch any of the NBC games last night? Spurs, Blazers, or Magic
You would think
Pistons?
that I would dumb into, because didn't they have like Tuesday night basketball at some point during the season? I would have dumbed into it, but I never. Yeah. I don't even go onto that area. Like I told you, if I'm watching the telly, it's probably going to be Food Network and or some type of bad Bravo show. Those are the 2 things that I'll watch when I'm watching.
So tonight we've got Hawks.
Or ESPN, yeah.
Hawks, Knicks, followed by Timberwolves and your guy Jokic.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. Is that on TNT?
Those are
or
both
what is that
on.
on?
TNT hasn't had NBA games all year. These are on NBC.
Which ones are these on?
NBC.
Okay.
There is a Peacock game at 6 o'clock tonight, Toronto and Cleveland, if you're interested.
So did NBA TV just go away at White Buffalo?
It appears NBA TV does not have any of the playoff games.
Yeah, I think the NBA is, I think they missed the mark with what they've done with this. Like, they grabbed the cash, and hey, kudos to you, go do it. But if you're in a bar and you want to go boo these NBA games, you're not going to get them because they don't put them on. Amazon isn't putting games on. They're not putting them on.
Actually, we were at a bar on Saturday afternoon, and had we not been there, I would have totally forgotten that the Raptors and Cavs were playing, but they did have it on Amazon Prime at whatever establishment we were at on the east side of Madison.
Well, I hope that because there's a big amount of money that they have to pay in order to put it on. That's part of the problem, and that's where there's this antitrust and some other stuff. So I don't want you putting their business on the street because Lord knows regulators and you're being a little hall monitor that you are, you'd turn them in.
Can you put on Will Trent whatever you want, or is that against the rules? Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa,
Jesse, got anything else?
Yeah, NCAA transfer portal news. Tausch's favorite women's college basketball player, Audi Crooks, transferring from Iowa State to Oklahoma State. Tausch, your thoughts?
I think Oklahoma State's in for a big season, is what I think. I think they're going to be in for a big season.
Must have missed our review of the WNBA draft. All right, that is Whoa Nelly. Tausch is going to tell us once again about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm sick of y'all putting this stuff off. We've seen tornadoes coming last week. It was a week of tornadoes. There's all kinds of weather. If you've been putting off replacing your windows and doors, now is the time to get it fixed. Head over to Pella of Wisconsin right now. They're offering 0 interest financing all the way till 2030. That's right, 0% interest until 2030. In Wisconsin, your home does take a beating year-round. Make sure you have the right windows and doors that will improve comfort, boost energy, and upgrade your home's look. That, of course, is from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Their experts will help you find the perfect fit for your home and within your budget. And with 0 interest until 2030, you can upgrade now and pay over time without paying a dime. Don't wait. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Brewers baseball is back.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Fastball at 101. It's a Miz show at Fenway tonight. My goodness.
Tune in all season right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by The Jump Around. Don't miss new episodes of this exclusive digital show talking all things Wisconsin sports. New episodes debut Thursdays at 12:30, streaming on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. With this Badger Minute, I'm Jesse Nelson. It's portal season for Wisconsin men's basketball. Head coach Greg Gard and the Badgers have officially announced 3 additions from the NCAA transfer portal for next season. Senior guard Trey Autry from George Washington University, forward Victory Onuetu, the leading rebounder last year for Hofstra, and senior wing Ian Elmer, who helped lead Miami, Ohio to an undefeated regular season. Both Onuetu and Elmer are coming off NCAA tournament appearances with their former teams. Follow along for the latest with the transfer tracker at ESPN.com.
Wisconsin weather is unpredictable. Your windows shouldn't be. Upgrade with Pella and get 0% interest until 2030. Order by April 30th at PellaWI.com.
Turn your dream kitchen into a reality with the IKEA Dream Kitchen event. Now through April 21st, IKEA family members save 10% when they spend $3,000 or more on section kitchen cabinets and eligible appliances and countertops. That's modern style, smart storage, and everyday functionality designed your way. Plus, section cabinets come with a 25-year limited warranty. Not sure where to start? IKEA's expert kitchen planners are here to guide you every step of the way. Your dream kitchen is closer than you think. So visit IKEA Oak Creek or IKEA.us today.
your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Gearing up for tailgating, fireworks, festivals, and updating your home. This is an absolute season for it all. Siding Unlimited can handle the home part. Start the process by visiting Siding Unlimited at 2018 South Stoughton Road and check out our amazing showroom. Ideas will follow, and eventually you'll experience our fantastic carpenters installing new windows, siding, roofing, and doors. We do it all, and it starts by visiting our showroom or going to sidingunlimited.com.
Ben Brust here for the Princeton Club. If you're looking for your better tomorrow, you know where to go. It's the Princeton Club. If you're looking to grow, it's also the Princeton Club, because they will cheer for you in all areas of your life. The best way to do that is to start a foundation of having a healthy body, and your growth will start from there. With the cleanest health clubs in Wisconsin, they provide everything for you to reach your goals. Start your better tomorrow today and grow in all areas of your life at the Princeton Club. Join for a better tomorrow.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's. We're on the Badgers.
The bottom line on it is you're going into a monster season.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And now there's more change, more things that aren't stable than there ever has been before.
This is 100.5 ESPN.
This was a fun show today. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
I enjoyed it more than Will Trent and the writers killing off Amanda Wagner. Still not pleased about that development. Neither is Sydney, by the way. She likes the show, too. You're not here tomorrow.
I am out tomorrow, correct.
So, Brian Gutekunst speaks at 11 in the newly refurbished. It's the old team meeting room. Is the media auditorium.
Oh, wow.
And then they got a new team meeting room. So I'm happy with the hand-me-down. It's quite nice.
What did they do with the old media room then?
They are basically turning it into extended storage for the equipment room. So they're expanding the equipment room significantly.
Shoulder pads.
No, you got to have shoulder pad room.
A lot of room for shoes and such. But since you won't be here tomorrow when I head over to that said new media auditorium, what do you want me to ask Goody?
Who he's going to draft?
Good one.
Thanks. I didn't know I'm writing for Channel 3000 now, too. Goody's talked a bunch. Like, I actually feel like I have had my Goody fill for a while. I'd like for him to space this out. Now, LaFleur, I think that'd be fine getting him a little bit more.
Ask him if Jonathan Gannon's here.
When is Jonathan Gannon going to talk? What the hell
We've had
happened
enough
with
out of you.
Bisaccia?
Can you send Gannon out instead? I am very curious.
I mean, this
because
is like his 5th time he's talked since the season's out, right? Goody has been everywhere.
A couple weeks after this last game of the year.
It's at least his 4th
Scouting
appearance.
combine.
Yep. Owners' meetings.
NFL meetings. So 3. This will be the 4th time he's spoken.
And not Gannon ever.
Gannon 0. Goody 3, Gannon 0.
It's going to be Goody 4.
Matt LaFleur 2 at the NFL meetings and the day after the season. And I am curious what Thursday night looks like. Like, what is it? They have not. This has been 40 years since they went into a draft without a first-round pick.
What if he pulls a Ditka? And
What
they
is that, the rest
want to
of
get
his draft
Jeremiah
for
Love and say, here's
Jeremiah
all our picks. We're going to go with Love. We want the love show.
We want
love and love.
Beat me.
Love and love.
Man, that'd be fun.
That would be fun. Love and love in the backfield. All right, so I will have to come up with questions on my own. I thought there might be I don't need you to do my job for me. I appreciate you.
No,
painting
I didn't
it
say
that
for
way.
you. I said I'm not ready.
What
to write for
What would it take to trade up? Because Schefter did say in his little article today that everybody's looking to trade
He wrote
back.
an article? We didn't really get to that.
Everybody's looking to trade back. Very few teams are looking to trade up. So there could be an opportunity to scoot up if they wanted to.
I
just
still
don't feel
see
like
them.
we're in the scoot up mood.
Yeah.
I
Or
think we're
have the
scoot
ammunition
back.
to do so.
Well, there's always ammo.
Well, I don't know if there's sufficient ammo for them to do that, though. Depending on how high they want to go up, I'd be curious who the player would be also that he would deem worthy of doing that.
I could see him putting Musgrave in a package.
Yeah,
putting Musgrave in a second and, sneaking up there and getting a little love.
Yeah.
But that's
Well, not
gonna
quite that high.
No, you ain't going to
apparently.
get into the top 4.
Yeah, but maybe at the bottom. I mean, again, they did this, or they tried to do it with Christian Watson in 2022, move up from the second round and try and take him at 32 in a trade with the Vikings. So they would have had a fifth-year option. It's good to have that. By the way, the fifth-year option decision is due on May 1st on Lucas Van Ness. So we'll see what they do there. But I think we already know what they will most likely do there. All right. It'll be Brian Bulaga as our cousin sub of the day tomorrow. Brian Gutekunst will he'll tell us exactly who they're going to plan on picking at number 52, and we'll have full coverage of that leading into the draft. And then Tausch will be back later in the week. That's it for us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.